Welcome back to the pod you're looking for. I'm Josh. This is Sam. And happy 1 year, baby.
Woo!
We did it.
Oh my gosh,
One
dude.
full
Can you
year,
believe
man.
it? Can
Come
you
on.
believe it?
Come
Happy
on.
1 year, baby.
Yeah, as we're recording this, the first episode dropped yesterday.
Wow.
Last year.
Man,
May
dude.
28th is our first episode.
Holy moly.
How crazy is that?
One whole year of the podcast. Does it feel like that?
No. It does, but it doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here's where it does. It does because we've been doing it. But at the same time, it's kind of weird because then I go back and I remember where things were in life back a year ago. It's like, man, what?
Yeah, it's weird. Neither of us have ever had like a thing like that that's been so consistent week to week, where it's like you've been able to like kind of like track like,
yes,
oh, here's the episode where I got engaged to my fiance.
I was just gonna say,
here's the episode where we
talked about The Rock and Smashing Machine, and then you said, hey, actually in 1 hour I'm going to would you go ask permission or something?
I hit cut on the cameras and I put on a suit and went to go propose to my fiance. Yeah, dude, it's crazy, dude.
Crazy,
nuts.
Just nuts.
Wild, dude.
Yeah,
man.
But we did it.
It's flown by, and yet we've packed so much into it. I mean, how many we've done? This is episode 56, I believe, right?
56. Wow.
Then we did over 500 clips.
Nice.
550 videos in total, reactions and this and that. Oh my gosh, dude!
A lot of stuff.
We got a lot planned today.
Yes,
There's a ton to go over. We've got actual. I mean, this week is no different from the last. So we got a lot. We got a couple things to review and rate. We've got Burn It or Back It at the end. We've got some blind rankings. We've got a whole lot of stuff to celebrate. We've got some fan segments. We've got some stuff where we're going to read off some of your submissions. In the Discord a couple weeks ago, you very thoughtfully put out a thing to get the listeners involved, kind of get them to submit their own questions and topics that they would want to hear us talk about on the 1 year. So we're going to cover that. We got plenty
of things from DMs,
dude.
Other things.
Yeah.
So we appreciate everything. Seriously, appreciate everyone listening throughout this whole year, whenever you came on the show to listen. But yeah, thank you for submitting stuff too.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so excited to do this whole episode.
I think we just dive in. We can save some of our mushy thoughts for the very end. But yeah, I say we just dive right in. We're going to get our reviews of the new stuff out of the way so we can go right into the 1 year celebration stuff. You're right.
Two things before we get in. We have we both saw Backrooms last night.
We did.
And also Spider-Man Noir came out.
Yeah.
So some interesting stuff. Do you want to start with Backrooms?
Yeah. Why not, dude?
All right. Do you want to get right in with a rating?
I'd say so. Yeah.
All right.
We just saw Backrooms. Mm-hmm. Our rating of Kane Parsons' Backrooms. 3, 2, 1.
7.8.
Wow, dude. I'd give it a 9.2.
Really?
Dude, yeah.
Wow.
7.8. I'm
going
very curious.
8. Yeah.
Now, you said before we started that your review would come with a rating would come with a caveat.
Yes. Little caveat.
What is that?
I'm stumped by this movie, I'll say. This is one that, unfortunately, the good thing and bad thing about what we do is we always watch movies Thursday night, record Friday morning.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a ton of time to let it sink in. It's one of those movies, without spoiling anything, where the ending leaves you in a spot, and the whole journey and ending leaves you in a spot where you're kind of thinking, was that genius, or was that really kind of eh?
Like you just didn't know how to wrap up the story?
I have no idea what to think.
Sure.
And it's kind of one of those weird ones. So I don't want to give it as much credit as saying it's like a Arrival, but it's a little like a Arrival where you kind of are like, whoa, I gotta sit with this a couple weeks and just let it simmer.
Okay.
So I think I need to see it again, honestly, to fully give my opinion.
Interesting.
The thing I'll say is, as good as the parts are, the biggest gripe I'd say about it is for a horror movie, it's a little slow. It takes its time to build up, and it adds that level of feeling uncertain about things, that uneasiness. Mm-hmm. But it also sacrifices a little bit because of doing that. It kind of just hinders it, where there's certain parts where you're like, are we gonna see something? Like, are we actually gonna see something and go somewhere? Once it hits, you're like, whoa, what the heck? But for a movie that was described as a horror movie, there wasn't as much horror as I'd say there was uneasiness.
Okay.
What were you thinking?
For me, that's why it worked.
I think it worked, yeah.
There were bits throughout this movie, and do we just go right into... The movie is so confusing on the first watch that I don't think you can really talk about this movie unless you just go full into spoilers.
Yeah, it's a little difficult for sure.
I'll try my best.
Try your best for now.
I'll try my best for a second.
Avoid the ending. without like avoid saying what the ending is, and I think you're fine to say anything else.
Okay, yes, and I do want to touch on that. What I'll say kind of rides with the context, or I'm assuming that anyone who's watching this review of the Backrooms doesn't mind that I touch on the lore of like the games or the clips on YouTube.
Yeah, it's important.
So there were bits and pieces when the characters in the movie are exploring the Backrooms, where, or what do they call it, the complex? Is that like the technical name for it? There's bits and pieces where the characters are exploring the complex where, because of how drawn out it is, you're anticipating the horror so greatly that you almost start seeing things yourself. And that added a whole new dimension to me, because I can't really think of a horror movie that I've seen thus far where you're almost waiting, you're almost hoping the horror comes, because you're waiting for so long for it that you're almost like, just get it over with already. And you start to feel like, did I just see something in the ceiling? Did that light just flicker? Did I just hear something? Or was that the person behind me in the theater? Like, there's things that happen in this movie in sequences that are so drawn out in anticipation of the inevitable subject of horror converges with the characters, where you're sitting waiting for it to happen, to where it's like your mind just crosses that next step for you. And I think that plays out marvelously in favor of the movie. Like, I think that's a huge benefit to it. Like, the paranoia that it instills in the audience, almost, it's imagine the sequence where in Texas Chainsaw, like that one titular character, the girl who escapes the house, like she's confused about where her friend's going. They keep going to check out this house and they keep disappearing. So I'm just going to go check it out myself. The guy goes in and she doesn't hear anything. And so she's like, she decides to go in and she's walking around the house and the guy gets dragged down into the basement. And so you're like walking through the house and you know Leatherface is in there, but you don't know where. And it's so silent for so long that you're like, just come around the corner and axe her in the back of the head already. Like, not that you want it, but you almost want it.
Yeah.
For the sake of like your own mental, like,
it's like rip off the Band-Aid already.
Yeah, exactly. You just want to get it. Yes, exactly. You want to get it done, and just like imagine that, but for like 15 minutes. And I think that some people, and you have a right to say that's where the movie drags, but I think for a movie to hold your attention for that long in anticipation of the evil that's out there, and the fact that anticipation only grows with each second and doesn't diminish because of how long they drag it out, like, I think that's a huge strength of the movie. You know what I mean? To control an audience's emotion and level of tension for that long and suspension for that extended period of time, to where when the horror comes, it's almost like the reality of like the because this is like part of the lore, and I'll say this, the reality of there actually being a monster in the Backrooms is almost like not as scary as like the last 15 minutes when you were just waiting for him to come around the corner.
No, I agree with you.
And I think
the second you reveal your hand, you've got a little bit of a pressure that you're hoping this thing somehow looks monstrous.
Exactly.
And usually it's hard to make it actually look that way.
Yeah, dude, yeah. And I would say, without spoiling things, like To me, it's like, and again, just playing off of that, to me, like, the two scariest sequences in the movie, honestly, they had nothing to do with the monster. It was like the last couple sequences before each character discovered it. So it's like, that's like where the movie shined, and I think that's where the concept of the Backrooms and the complex works, is just this infinite, other dimensional space that like has this like sense of familiarity because it draws from the real world, to where it's like it has this almost like homey, hypnotic feel, to where it's like it's oddly familiar, almost like spiritually familiar. Like you like you're walking through and you see these things that have to do with these characters' lives and this and that, but there's just enough wrong. Why is that chair on the ceiling? Why is that mannequin half in the ground? Like there's enough weird that it's like it something just feels off. It's like the second you're watching a movie and the camera shifts to a diagonal angle, or the perspective shifts to where it's like suddenly the camera's angled down looking up at the character to where you're like, what's watching this person? And there's just enough in there to where it's like something is wrong here. And it goes from slight interest to anxiety to, like I said, paranoia, to where as an audience member, you're like, I swear I just saw something in the hall there. Like, I swear something just moved.
It's really good. I think it's the best part. You're so right that a lot of horror movies struggle because they put stuff right in your face. And it's like, oh, did you see that? You see that? There's the thing. There's the thing you're worried about. This is good because if you go through and watch the whole movie, there's a chance a lot of those things you entirely miss. It's there for you. Honestly, that's why it's one of those movies seeing on the big screen is so important, I'd say. Because it allows you to catch every little thing. Yeah. But I can't tell you how many times I would notice, like, when I say, like, a thing twitched, I know it twitched. And almost, but it's so minimal that you're kind of in your head thinking, did I just see that? So you almost get into the headspace of the characters as well. It's great. It's really good. I think the thing that's my biggest, not gripe, I guess the thing that brings me down, again, I'm giving it a 7-8. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I could even go up to an 8, maybe on other thought.
Sure.
I think the story is intentionally super vague with giving you any context toward anything.
Okay.
Which is good. You don't introduce a lot of characters. Again, good, because it's not formulaic. But I don't know how to articulate this, but there's not like a super deep story based outside of just the ending. They give you a lot of nuggets about the doctor, about this, like all these different things coming in that you're like, hey, maybe there's this other deeper story going on. Maybe there's this deeper story going on.
Yep.
And they kind of don't flesh that out at all.
Yeah.
To a point where I understand a lot of people like that because it's super vague. It was a little too much for me because the ending is so vague that you kind of have to leave it up to your own interpretation of what happens.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that stuff. But when you also give me no kind of substance as a story, I wasn't in as much. They give you a little bit, like a very little bit, but they don't flesh enough out, in my opinion. I get liking it. I'm not saying I don't like it. I think there's not much to fully grasp onto that makes that ending feel as impactful as it could have, because they just show it briefly about these other characters. They show it briefly so that you can maybe let your mind wander and go, maybe that's why, but I wish they give you a little more.
I can totally respect that. I'll only play I do feel the opposite, but I'm saying this more constructively to play devil's advocate here. The credits rolled for around 12-13 minutes after the movie ended. The screen was black, and there were still at least 20 people in the theater talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge.
It is
huge. That's huge. And I think back to things like Stranger Things, or, then you have, like, more recently, like, The Boys. Like, these shows that go on for a while and have people at the start and kind of leave these open-ended things, but then they just wrap things up, and you realize, oh, it's not that they were, like, building to something. They really just had no idea how to land the plane. And then the directors come out, like the Duffers came out, and this past winter, and we're like, oh well, we just wanted to leave that open ended. But then the documentary comes out about the production process, and you find out that they're just like the writers are in the room being like, shouldn't we do it this way? And the Duffers are like, I don't know. And you just have such a clear confirmation that actually it wasn't an up for interpretation thing. It was we just don't know how to figure this out. We don't know how to address these questions that we've created with no answers. And then occasionally you have open-ended storytelling that's open-ended for the purpose of driving intellectual, like, stimulating conversation from the ending of the movie. And I believe, and I hope I'm not wrong, but I believe that that's what this was. That's what it felt like. It felt like, to me, and again, people have been having this conversation for decades about should open-ended storytelling even exist? Like, as a storyteller and as a creator of a narrative, should you not also walk into something with an idea of how it ends? And I agree with a majority of the arguments there. In situations like this, it felt like the creator of the story trusting his audience enough to create their own interpretation of what was going on there. And there's like 2 or 3 definitive angles that you could take here. And I love that all 3 of them are just as likely. And to me, that's it's another strength.
I'm not disagreeing with that point at
100%. But I also understand what you're saying.
I'm trying to say I like the open-ended finish. Yeah. That ending I think is perfect, and that's what makes the film so good to me is the ending. I wish we had more character substance before that moment to make that ending feel even crazier.
Sure.
I just think it was lacking a little bit because the ending's great, but you kind of... Yes, it made it not feel as like you didn't see it coming, but also you kind of it doesn't hit as hard because you're not like, oh, I've seen all these things.
Yeah.
They like so briefly show you stuff that you're like, maybe this is why this is happening. But it's to a point where I don't think it lands as good because of it. Not the ending is greatly done, but it could have been a little more with that.
I get it.
I love the ending. I love that it's open like that. Because you're so right that the three you could have gone. I could explain it to you 3 different ways, and I'm still not sure which way it is. You know, I really don't.
That's
know.
very cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's not like Stranger Things either, where it's like, did 11 survive or not? It's legitimately like 3 totally plausible situations that could be occurring.
Mm-hmm. If anybody else has seen this movie, I have a question with this because I was like the only person in the theater. One other person as well. One of the funniest jokes I've heard in theater in a while. Did you hear me laughing at that? That was the funniest thing ever, man.
Pots are...
Dude, so they go in, and there's this stop sign right in the front entrance.
Yeah.
And with his camera, it like switches the words backwards or whatever. Mm-hmm. But like everything's so odd. Like there's a bunch of other things going on. So they're like, "What the heck is this and this?" And he sees the stop sign, which is just a normal stop sign.
The people are kind of both like potheads. They're both
but the whole movie's very serious. Like this is not just a jokey movie. No. And he points at the camera. He's looking around. He's like, "Oh my gosh!" And then he sees the stop sign, but it's backward. It's just backward because of the camera. He goes, "Pots! Oh my gosh!" Dude, it was so good. It was so funny. It was so funny because it was just out of nowhere. It was like that was out of everything crazy. That was the problem. That was what does pots mean?
Like that unsettled him the most.
So funny. Yeah, I love that.
And that's again, you touched on a good thing. And we don't have to go too deep into this, but I hate how so much of horror is watered down, not because the horror maybe necessarily isn't executed well, but because they feel that they need to sprinkle in these moments of levity in there. And I always like when horror movies can just double down on like the scare. The reason you're seated is to be scared. Mm-hmm. You're not there to laugh.
Yeah.
So like but then it's like a great thing because on top of that, like on top of you delivering on the scary factor, when you do drop a humorous moment like that in there, and there is 1 or 2 in this movie, it comes at such a random point to where it's like some people in the audience like you got it and laughed. Other people like me, like my jaw was already on the floor from all the other stuff going on, and my brain didn't even catch up to it until you whacked me on the arm and you were like, dude, that's killing me right now. You know, so it's cool because you get a mix of reactions from the audience, you know.
Yeah. But it's good again because it's not a forced joke at all. It's just kind of there.
Yeah.
Like you said, I mean, a lot of people didn't hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. Should we go into spoilers?
I think so because I want to talk the ending.
Okay. Yeah,
I would love to figure that out.
Yeah.
What the heck was that?
So,
what?
How much did you grow up on like the games of the videos on YouTube? Not at all. Me either. I didn't watch anything.
Not until recently did I even look at lore
never seen
stuff.
Any. My first exposure to the Backrooms was the trailer for the Backrooms movie.
Yep. What do you chalk that ending up to be?
So essentially, from what I'm kind of vaguely understanding, and I've done some research this morning, and I'm going to butcher this. So Backrooms loyalists, please don't come after me here.
Okay.
But from what I understand, the Backrooms is not a paranormal, spiritual realm.
Okay.
It's an extra dimensional, like fragment of our reality. And it was brought on, I guess, the company with the doctors and the hazmat suit people and like all that. Apparently, they started out, they were kind of experimenting with like interdimensional travel, and they created the Backrooms as like it was like the product of an experiment. And originally, it was like as they started to map it out, they were like, "Oh my gosh, look at all this like these extra rooms for film, for housing, for like look at all these places where we can profit off of this." And there's no conglomerate
regulation.
There's no regulation over who buys this, who sells it. It's just free retail.
Yeah.
And that was how it started. So when they were exploring it, it was like, how can we take advantage of this for our own financial gain. Then you have the whole issue of like, well, there's something in here. You know what I mean? That's what I understand, kind of vaguely, I believe. And also, so apparently the way this area, this space works, the complex works, apparently it's like once you're in there, like the place almost like takes like a snapshot memory of where you're at in your life the moment you enter, and it creates like a replica of you, and it creates like fragments of your memory in these different rooms that aren't totally up to par with how they actually happened or how you might actually look. It's like the way you might see somebody in your dreams where one eye is like sagging a little bit, or like their ears are too big. It's like it's fragmented memories of a tangible thing.
Yes.
And the more you're in there, the more the complex remembers you, but the less it has to try to remember more, if that makes sense. And so more from
becomes more distorted, but it's getting more overall.
It's getting more of you,
your
but
life.
it's becoming more warped, which is why, like, when Clark is in there, right, it was Clark.
Mm-hmm.
When the more he's in there, he starts hearing his wife's voice calling out to him, and he's seeing all of his furniture from the store.
It's consuming even more of you. Yes,
it's seeing things from his life, but it's not like him. It's not his wife. It's not his world. It's memories of like things from, and that's why when she's in there, it's like she, I believe it's like kind of like it's not a spiritual realm, but it's like it remembers you, and it's like a living thing, and like the tangible things that are in the complex are fragmented representations of like your own traumas and your own psychological state, your own memories. So it's almost your consciousness externalized in these like tangible rooms. So all that to say, like, when our big conversation was like, at what point did Clark actually die?
Right.
Like, at what point did
he become consumed by it?
Right. And maybe we should cover that. I would like to cover that before the ending.
Okay, yeah.
Because we were confused on both.
I was suggesting, I feel like it's the point where you see the monster pick up the camera and he's on the other side of the glass.
I think so too.
But at the same time, that moment, though, is the other side of the glass. See, that's where I'm saying about it being fleshed out enough, but also confusing. I like it being confusing. I wish they fleshed it out a little more. Clearly, the metaphor on the glass thing, with her also having her book named after it, looking through the window, and then them playing that off where he's trying to look through the window, but there's nothing there. And apparently, the other worker is looking, or the other person that was with the camera crew was there looking through the glass at him, and he couldn't see her.
Right.
So I can't tell. Was that real? I have no idea. Like, was she actually there in that moment? Because if she was, then he was still alive at that point. If she wasn't really, then he'd already lost his mind. You get what I'm trying to say?
So this is what point? I'm trying to just track, because I'm trying to remember like what happens. Like
the camera he sets down. He hears the girl that has the camera.
Yes,
he's at the wall.
Yes.
She says she sees him through the window.
Yep.
He all of a sudden, we're in the point of view of the camera. The camera gets picked up by something that's growling or whatever, and looks at him, and she goes, "Behind you, Clark!" And then it cuts. That point is where I assumed Clark essentially dies or gets taken over by the Backrooms.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to say is, my confusion is, he's hearing a voice behind the glass, but there's no way for him to get through the wall. That whole thing is confusing. Was she actually there, the other camera person on the other side of that wall? Was she actually there, or had he already lost his mind at that point?
I think it was just more. I
you know what I'm trying to say?
I took it as more just the Backrooms was taking more from him. You know what I mean?
Okay, in that moment.
So like his wife was like, it was like a manifestation of his life.
But he hadn't been taken by anything else yet at that point. Like, he was still entirely normal at that point. He wasn't seeing anything weird either.
At the very least, he was going nuts.
Was he? I don't think so at that point.
Well, like, if it's not the Backrooms taking more from him, it's him losing his mind and hearing his wife.
But it wasn't his wife.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I know, but it was the person he's hearing is the other girl.
Oh, so that wasn't his. I thought that was his wife. That was
that was the other person that was recording with the guy and the girl, the druggies.
Oh, I thought that was his wife the whole time.
No, it was the girl.
Oh, I thought she died the moment she went after the boyfriend.
Yeah, well, she probably did. Is my thought. But then I'm fairly confident about this. Because he keeps going around calling out her name.
Right.
And then he calls out her name again, and she's like, "I'm here. Can you let me through?" So was that actually her, or is she dead at that point?
I think she was dead, and I think you're right that he died the moment after. And I think that like him standing up to the creature in the like that confronts him and Mary. Mm-hmm. Like I think that was like maybe his last bit of like humanity hanging on, but I think he had already been taken. You know, like
I think he was taken.
I think he was like a phantom at that point.
I agree, but I'm almost wondering, was it taken before that? Because do you know what I'm trying to say?
Like before I
think the reporter girl died the second that she went to go save her boyfriend.
Yes, I agree.
So then him hearing her behind the wall, I think implies that he's already starting to lose it, or that the Backrooms has taken over his mind somewhat. But that's the first situation I'm trying to recall, because
that chase is constant. I'm trying to recall a moment where it could have maybe happened.
Right.
I think at the very least it was then.
Because when the what is she? Oh my gosh, the other girl, the other lady that does the book, the author, whenever she comes in, Mary, yeah. She when he chokes her out,
yeah,
he's clearly lost at that point.
Yes, right.
So we understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it almost implies that he's been there for like a week or something.
Well, that was what I was thinking. Is that it had only been one night, and he was saying like, I like it here. I think I like it here. And
yeah.
And like, and he had like a home that he had established, and it just made the timeline was weird, which is why it felt like more maybe the Backrooms had just like consumed him. Kind of. And him being able to talk through his because here's what I think. It's not like a spiritual realm, but I think it because it feeds off of your trauma. Like, I think there's a certain element to this just based on, like, the stuff I saw in the movie. I can't speak to the games or the YouTube stuff. I can't. So, like, maybe there is an answer to this, and I just don't know. From somebody who's just seen the movie, it seems like even though it's not a spiritual place, where there's, like, something, like an out-of-body thing that's, like, kind of taken over.
Right.
I feel like there's something to it where it's like the only people that originally could access the Backrooms were people who had some sort of like trauma, like kind of like, again, I hate to make another Stranger Things reference here, but like how Vecna was targeting people with trauma specifically, and like those are the people he needed. It felt like even though like the two potheads that Clark brought with him into the Backrooms like could follow him, like it felt like maybe the reason Clark was able to access it in the first place, and then ultimately Mary, was because the place recognized their trauma.
Yes, which is exactly why the two people that were the camera crew weren't able to be consumed by it.
Right, exactly.
Because it's targeting these types of people.
Right, it just killed them.
Yes,
and
exactly.
That's why there were like clothes and stuff
and
this and that. So I feel like that there's something to that with like targeting people with trauma. And that's a great point. Like because there are rooms where there's like pile of like human debris and stuff, and I believe that that's just people that wandered in there with no like mental stake. There was nothing for the Backrooms to draw from.
Yeah,
and so it just ate them, or it just like consumed them. I don't know.
That's where I'm like confused. I'm confused. Is there a real person that's in there, and there's a copy made of them as well? Are they killed, and there's a version of them now in the Backrooms? That's option 2. Or they've gone mentally insane in the real world, and there's a copy of them in the Backrooms. You know what I'm like? All three of those I feel like are options, and I don't even know where to begin with that.
Right. Well, so that's what people were saying the actual ending of this movie was, is Mary is still alive in the real world, and she actually was taken by the doctors and analyzed, and that her fate was just maybe that after she got interrogated, she was just either put in an institution to silence her, or she was killed by the government.
Yes.
Like, that was the assumption. And so the Mary we're seeing is not the real one that came into the Backrooms to look for Clark. It was the snapshot, just sitting in there as a mannequin almost.
I think that's exactly what it is, because they show her, the only trauma thing they ever show of her is her with her mother, who her mother's insane, right?
Yep.
So they show her. They also show that exact room in the Backrooms.
Right.
So that implies that her mother being insane may be because she got to go to the Backrooms. So I'm almost thinking that version that you see all of a sudden, you know how she's talking to her mom and her mom's insane and they push her off?
Yes.
Is the regular version, and her mom's got a copy in the Backrooms. I think we just saw the other version of what Mary becomes.
Interesting.
Through her mom.
Oh, sure. Yes, I think that's a great theory. I think that's awesome. There's an interesting thought I had where it's almost like it felt like the Backrooms reacted to the people with trauma that they were bringing into the complex. It almost like they reacted almost like in a mocking way to imitate their trauma. So like when Clark goes in, he was this down on his luck guy who had ruined his life. His drinking and his anger had gotten him kicked out of his own house by his wife, and he was living and sleeping out of his furniture store. He was just like he was at the end of his rope. And so when he enters the Backrooms, in an almost similar sense, he finds himself drawn to this place, removing himself from reality, until he has nothing left but just like his current circumstance, and he's willing to just stay where he's at. Like it almost felt like he went through his life, he destroyed his life and his relationship, and he just became so down on his luck that it was just like, I've just decided this is where I'm going to stay, and this is where I'm just stuck forever.
Yep.
I wanted to be an architect, but I'm stuck here. And so when he goes into the Backrooms, it almost repeats itself. I'm in the Backrooms, and I'm exploring. I'm trying to make the most of this. I feel like I've gotten like a second wind to my life. Now I have this new thing I've discovered. But then the more I settle in, it's like, actually, I'm willing to leave my good life behind where I'm safe, and I'm willing to just stay here, and kind of give it all up. And then that is his undoing. And similarly, when Mary comes in, it's like Mary spent her whole life traumatized by her upbringing with a mentally ill mom, and so she becomes a therapist almost as a way to escape her own trauma. And so it's possible that, like, on the flip side, if that was Mary, like, if that was her in the Backrooms, it's possible that, like, maybe there was a situation where the Backrooms treated her real life. It almost mimicked her real life situation where, because she became a mental health specialist to escape her own mental health struggles, it's almost like she goes into the Backrooms and she goes through this whole experience of, like, trying to escape this traumatic thing that's after her. And then she finally creates for herself a reality where she made it out. But really, she just was stuck there the whole time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it almost felt like the Backrooms was almost like just mimicking the trauma. It was almost replicating it and repeating it. Not just them as people and memories of their life, but their own trauma. Their experience and adventure in the complex in the Backrooms was a direct parallel of the life experience that got them there, because the only way they could access it in the first place is if they had the trauma that would open the door.
It would make sense, because the only things that aren't directly furniture that are in there are windows and mirrors, which again would kind of signify that.
Right.
So that's interesting.
I don't know, dude. And it's also interesting because the monster, the big monster, is revealed to just be the worst manifestation of everything wrong with Clark. And it's like a real physical thing, but it's like it's created out of his demons, his inner demons. And so it's.
I'd like to say, because I could see people having a gripe about that, with the way it looked and kind of feeling like it was too clunky and hokey, kind of weird. That's like the point to me, is it being distorted and just this strange, odd thing you don't even know what you're looking at. So I was totally fine with that. Not that I've seen people gripe about that, but I could easily see that being a thing.
Yeah, and I would shoot that down if I saw it too. Yeah, I thought that the horror was just, again, like, the real evil here wasn't the ultimate, like, character rounding the corner. It was like all the stuff that was like they were bringing with them.
Yeah.
And like the silence they were stuck in.
Yes.
Like there is a world where Clark goes in there and he just spends his life, say he takes one wrong left instead of a right, and then he's just lost there for years. Like, that would have been just as horrifying as actually getting pursued by a monster. It's like, I'm just lost here. I have no way out. You know what I mean? No sense of up or down or day or night. Like, there's nothing except just me in this empty space that goes on forever. How scary, dude. That's so interesting. It's so fascinating. One of the more fascinating horror premises I've seen. Just so cool. So cool. So what do you interpret that ending as? She did make it out, and maybe she did get killed by the government, but her snapshot lives on in there forever, in like the replica of her childhood home.
Yeah, I take it as she is a real person in the real world.
Yep.
In regular mental health, whatever. She's got like all these issues. She looks like she's just a crazy person, like the other person we saw that
Yes.
she was having to deal with.
Right.
I think that's her now, and she has a copy in the Backrooms, and like her mental state is in the Backrooms. So I almost think it's one mind controlling two different people, and she's so mentally in the Backrooms, that copy of her, that the person she is in the real world just is not even there anymore. It's just this scared, nonsensical person.
So you think that the conversation with her and the doctor at the end that was like a whole thing she had made up in her head? Or you think that was like...
I think it's real. I think she just progressively loses her mind to the Backrooms then from there.
Sure.
So, again, that lady we saw where she's peeking, I told you not to look through the blinds. I told you not to do these things. And then it cuts and she's in a mental health situation. I think that's now her. What
was the reason she couldn't look through? Was she already in the Backrooms? Like, I'm trying to figure out...
I don't know why.
Like, they didn't expand upon that.
That is what I'm trying to say, though. Is
that it? Like, she was saying don't look through there because she's already in the Backrooms, and the mom was insane because she had been in there, and then the thing that was in her dream breaking through the door was the monster?
Maybe. It's possible. But see, this is what I'm trying to say, I guess, about the movie, though.
Yeah, there's just so... I swear gripe. I'm listening, I'm like...
No, I know. There's so much to think about, and I love the intrigue and not knowing.
Yeah.
I wish they gave you more... No, I don't want to say context to have an answer, but context to, like... I don't know. Substance of what that was.
Sure.
Because it would make it a lot cooler if I could for sure latch onto this as a legit theory.
Yeah.
More so than just speculating.
Sure.
Because you and I are entirely speculating on what those scenes mean.
Right. And it definitely feels like it's one of the things that we've addressed. Mm-hmm. But there is, like you said, no concrete evidence to one way or the other.
Yeah. It's just there.
Yeah. But Backrooms, dude, that really, I don't know. I mean, you could go either way, really, truly. I understand the arguments of like the ambiguity and the slow pacing kind of throughout once they're in the Backrooms. Like I understand the arguments against the movie for that, or maybe not against it, but kind of not. I understand why to some that would be the game changer and why it sets it apart, and for others it's like another reason to just kind of like forget about it. Like I get it, but to me it was like those were huge strengths, and I see people saying like there should be a sequel with a whole new cast of people that like explore the Backrooms. It could very easily get stale from here on out. But like I think this is like a perfect small sample size.
Yeah.
I think this was great.
I agree.
But
I'd leave it there.
Yeah. No, but props to Kane Parsons. I mean, he's 22 years old, 23, something.
Nuts.
People were like in comment sections on Letterboxd like saying like it's insane that somebody who like barely is legal to drink just directed a movie that could make a statement for an Academy Award in some way, shape, or form. Like that. Like that's crazy. That's crazy, dude. It's not unheard of. And I don't want to beat that dead horse because that has been the whole, like, everywhere this kid goes, people say that. Like, how does it feel to be such a young, like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like Harrison Ford being asked about Han Solo and Indiana Jones. Like, I understand it could get old at a certain point. It's really remarkable that a movie of this level of quality was made by somebody that's 3 years younger than myself, though. It's really nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many smart people that are so more than capable of stuff like this. It's just great to see somebody like go out and make something happen like that.
Right.
Really cool.
Yep.
Really cool. A big, don't give up on your ideas or dreams type thing. You know, I mean, he was the originator of the idea, and it started out as like a horror story that turned into a video series that turned into games, and now it was a short film, and now it's the movie. So like, don't give up on your ideas. It's very cool. Very cool. It could end up as good as this. So yeah. What do you think?
Very good. Yeah. Very well done.
Yeah, but. I don't know. What do you want to move into Spider-Man? It's Spider-Noir, not Spider-Man, because Sony has legal issues with many things. It can't be Spider-Man.
No, can't
so
be
it's
that.
the Spider.
Here's where I admit to people, I only watched the first episode.
That's all right. I only watched the first 4. So maybe we'll come back next week and do like a whole.
I think let's just talk briefly.
Keep this nice and short.
And then we'll talk next week. Yeah.
Well, I say today talk about the technicalities of what makes the show great.
Yeah.
Because it's very evident even just from the first episode what makes the show so good.
Yes. What would you give it so far? You've gone halfway.
I almost feel I could make a pretty solid rating.
Give a
might
rating.
change a few sub points, but I would give this somewhere in the 8s. It's it's right now maybe 8.2, 8.3. It's a very good show. Very, very pleasantly surprised. Again, people have been saying this, but it's like, man, like when Sony locks in, they're really good at telling Spider-Man stories. Like you have like these knockoffs of Venom and Madam Web and Kraven the Hunter, where it's like, what are you doing? But then it's like, I feel like when they get a hold of Spider-Man specifically as a character, it's like they got it nailed. They can do no wrong, and you couple that with Lord and Miller, and like there's just so much to love about this show.
Those guys don't miss, man.
It's good.
Spider-Verse, Hail Mary, this. Dude, I feel like everything they touch, it's just been gold.
It's amazing.
They're unbelievable, Lord and Miller.
The show, from a technical standpoint, is one of the more creative Marvel as a whole projects that we've gotten in a very long time. We always rave about cinematography. Like, when a movie looks pretty, it's likely that, for me personally, it'll be the only thing you hear me talk about for at least 25 minutes of our review of the project. Like, I can't say enough good things. If you watch this show, like, watch it in black and white. Like
you have to.
There, even like, you can watch it and enjoy it in color, and I see people doing it. It just wasn't made for that.
Yeah.
And the show, like, there's certain shots that were so clearly set up to be that noir, black and white, 1930s, 20s style. Gosh, it's just so creative. The audio design, when characters talk, it sounds like they're talking into old microphones. When the everything is just shot so strategically to mimic film styles of that era. The music is phenomenal, some original, some not, but just all so stylized and perfect for this story. I can't name anybody who could play. What's interesting is it's Ben Reilly. It's not Peter Parker, but I can't name anybody who could play Ben Reilly in this situation better than Nick Cage. He brings a sophistication to the character that is very needed, because Noir is notoriously one of the more serious variants of Spider-Man.
Right.
However, I just feel he knocks the zaniness, the goofiness. Like, if you're looking for, if there's certain Nick Cage isms that you're looking for, I mean, they're rampant in this. The Nick Cage shtick is very, very palpable in this show. He's just so good in this role. I could watch 4 seasons of this show easily before I get tired. There's so much you could do with it.
They're so good at remixing the Spider-Man thing and making it always feel fresh enough each time, but also leaving you enough of the old stuff to be like, yeah.
100%.
I always love that. I was worried coming in with the show that it was going to feel a little bit too clunky. Sometimes it feels like when it's not an official, like, Spider-Man movie, you're just a little worried that they're not going to be able to kind of nail the mechanics, the feel of a Spider-Man thing. Dude, they blew me away with how good it feels.
Not the case here.
Yeah, it's great.
It's legit. From the first shot, it's legit.
Yeah. How cool were those opening first 5 minutes of the first episode?
It's great, dude.
With, like, the intro and everything?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, and it's perfect. I mean, I feel that Marvel's straying away recently from telling origin stories. Kind of, at first it was needed with things like Spider-Man, where at that point you had seen it enough. So when Tom Holland comes around, it's like, we don't need to see this again. We could, but we won't, and it's okay. There was a point with, like, Fantastic Four last year where I was like, I'm glad you showed some measure of, like, a montage establishing who these characters are, but, like, we haven't seen so much of them in cinematic form that, like, I'd be sick of the story if you told it again. And even just as, like, a setting up for Doomsday and stuff, it would have just been nice to see. But all that to say, like, in this case, I can appreciate with Spider-Man Noir, we've seen the Peter Parker story so much, but Ben Reilly's story, Spider-Man Noir's version, like, of the Spider-Man origin is so unique. I appreciate that they devoted like 5-6 minutes to just kind of be like, we got to keep moving, but we're going to establish this for you so that you at least have like some emotional attachment to where this character is coming from. You're not picking him up on he's low because he's learning his powers. You're picking him up at a point where he's low because he had everything and then lost it, and like it had nothing to do with Spider-Man. It's like he's like a down on his luck guy who happens to be Spider-Man, rather than like he's down on his luck because of Spider-Man. It's like it's all like it's a whole unique spin, but like you need to know it, but we're not going to dwell on it too much. I appreciate that they did that, because it's like it's important at a certain point.
Yeah.
And I would like to see a return to that. You've seen it with Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Superman, like these drawing completely away from the origin. I would like to see a gradual return to where it's like maybe you don't need to devote half the movie to it or half the show, but you can still give the fresh audience enough of a contextual foundation to where it's like you can keep moving, but also like give the people what they need. You know what I mean? To where it's like they don't have to fill in those blanks. But I don't know.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you.
But great show. Dude, I could so see.
I would like to talk about it more next week when I'm finished, but
we'll spend some more time. Yeah, both of us. But yeah, that's all the new stuff. We're all caught up. Do you want to move into our anniversary talk?
Yeah. We're doing. Get this, our review of You're One of the Pod You're Looking For.
Wow, dude.
How crazy is that?
Wow.
Pretty cool.
I'm ready.
So I wanted to do a few things for you and I. It's not really movie related to start. Just kind of talking about the last year. And then we're going to move into a little bit of movie stuff with that. And then it's kind of fan stuff driven. That's all going to be movie stuff.
Great.
So
awesome. Lead the way.
Dude.
This is all you.
Well, we've come a year. So I wanted to look back first before we look forward. Okay. Kind of would love for you to tell me just kind of overall, if you could simplify it down, what do you think's the thing you're most proud of from the last year of us doing this? Anything.
I'm proud of the belief that we have in this. I think it's very easy to put something out and to... just on the basis of it's two more guys doing a podcast, it's very easy to blend in with everybody else. Mm-hmm. And so we've kind of gradually, and this is going to be you're probably going to hear more like technical talk from us than you've ever heard before. This is probably going to be the most kind of emotional in the sense of like you're going to get a look at how we kind of approach this behind the scenes a little bit. Yeah, more than any other episode we've done. Just as a heads up. There's a point that we reached, I feel, months ago where we had been doing it enough to where we had a good routine going, but we had to really take a step back and be like, how do we break out of the just two guys doing a podcast thing? And the only way that we found you could really do it is just by sticking with it. I mean, I can't tell you, we even talked about this with the Parking Lot Takes guys when they were on the show. Like, the amount of people that come and go because they don't hit it off in the first couple months. Like, it's really remarkable that people just give up on their great ideas. And you and I have always been on the sound mindset that, like, everybody who enters this space has something to offer.
Yeah.
And so it's always such a bummer when people do give up on it, you know, because it's like that's just one more voice that maybe could have left a footprint in this area.
Exactly.
You know? And they would have been, appreciated if you just put in the work. But you and I both became hyper aware at a certain point of, like, if we're going to make this happen, we need to believe in ourselves and what we're doing here because nobody else does yet. And the tricky thing was not only does nobody else believe in us, but they don't necessarily need to. Like, there's no reason for them to. There's no reason why we should expect to reach out to certain creators and say, do you want to come onto our show 3 months in? And there's like no reason to anticipate a yes from them because like we haven't earned that right to even ask that question.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so the interesting dilemma for us for a while was how do we really get to a point where we're not just proud of ourselves because we're able to allot time in our week to sit down to do this together? Like, how can we actually be proud of what we're doing because we feel that it's even just slightly different from everything else out there? Mm-hmm. And I'm proud because I feel that we just have believed in this thing quietly for enough time to where it's like people have caught on. And it's surreal. I mean, to see, we'll dive into this, but I guess we'll dive into it later. But that to me, it's the belief that we have. I'm mm-hmm. the proudest that in the moments where we were averaging 100 views a clip, mm-hmm. and I was spending 9 hours a week editing these things. Yeah. And internally, I never vocalized this, but it's like internally, you're like, man, I don't want to give up, but when is this going to catch on? Because truly, it's like it's hard to put stuff out there and then to see so-and-so put out something and it gets 50,000 views in the first 3 hours. It's almost discouraging. Yeah. And you're happy for them because you know that they put in the work to get there. But you
just want that too.
For a long time, it feels like it's always another step away. Mm-hmm. And it's very cool to reach a point where you feel like you're catching up to the grind to where it doesn't feel like it's the point B just keeps getting drawn out another step. It feels like it's stayed there and you're just working your way towards it. It mm-hmm. feels like we have like a thing and we believe in ourselves and we're just moving forward. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm most proud of just like the belief that we have in this thing to where it's like we could receive a no from anybody, or we could receive a that's not going to work. And you and I just believe in what we're doing enough to where it just doesn't matter. Like, we know who we are, and I think that that's huge because so many people don't have that, and I think that that's great. So
it's perfectly put. I love that.
What about you?
Yeah, I think the thing it's hard to say something sometimes without feeling like you're just patting yourself on the back too much. And again, because I'm kind of speaking for people. But we've gotten to engage with a lot of different creators and different people in the space, and I feel like there's something that you and I have done well is representing exactly who we are to those people. And I think I'm proud because I feel like a lot of those creators respect us. And the reason why, and we'll talk more about this again, of people coming on our show, I feel like is because people respect what we do.
Yeah.
And just kind of what we've set up. And I feel like early on, I felt like I had to kind of carry some sort of thing to like, all right, what's the thing today I'm going to try and do that's crazy?
Sure.
And I feel like I can 1,000% say, I mean, early on, you were trying to fiddle through it and just figure it out. Mm-hmm. I have never not been like authentically 100% myself when we're doing this.
Yeah.
It's never been a conversation you and I have had that we wouldn't talk about in the gym or anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I just love that. Mm-hmm. I love that. But again, just that feeling that I feel like people... Like, I'm big on that in life. Whenever I feel like people respect me, I can do anything. You know what I mean?
And not even from, like, a high horse situation. It's more like...
I just want to be with you.
See you for you and welcome you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So I appreciate that.
That's huge, dude. Mm-hmm. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think you've learned most this past year doing this?
To not get discouraged by the lows, because there have been them. Like privately, very privately. I mean, there's no point where if you were to look back, like... From a content standpoint, there was no point that as a listener with no emotional stake in who we are as people that you could look back and be like, these guys aren't having the time of their lives. Mm-hmm. But there definitely were points where you and I were like, man, like we love what we're doing here, and this thing freaking rocks, and nobody's paying attention.
Yeah.
And it's a weird thing where you have to find your voice and you have to find who you are here without sacrificing who you were originally to appease people.
Yes.
But also the problem is in order to succeed, you need the approval of people.
Yes.
So it's like a very tricky line that you have to walk for yourself where you're like, I'm not working for the approval of people, but the only way this works is if people approve of me.
Yes.
And so I appreciate that in the, like, touching off what you said, in the lows, I'm glad that we never sacrificed that. But I think just working through the lows was huge because there were moments, like I said, where the views like were plummeting and there were no movies coming out, and we were like, gosh, what do you even do here? Like, what do we do? We were just talking about how Star Wars is dead at the time for the 10th time, and it worked out because every low ended up we hit an all-time low. And then we had the Parking Lot Takes guys on. And then we ended up meeting a couple people out of that. And that was amazing. And we became friends with the Parking Lot Takes guys. And then we hit another low around the time Hoppers came out. And then Project Hail Mary came out a month later. And we shot right back up. And so it was like for every low, there was just something continuously to like, if you just push past, there were moments, I think at least on two or three occasions, there were moments where I was like, man, like... Do we have to have like a tricky conversation about like, do we rework our content? Do we just focus on Star Wars? Do we just focus on Marvel? What do we do here? Like, because this isn't working. And then we were like, we're just kind of like, well, let's keep doing what we're doing for another couple episodes and just see. And like that next week was when it went back. See, you just never know. Like, you just never know. But on the flip side, I think it's very humbling to operate under on both angles. If you're doing terrible, you got to stick through it because you just never know if it's going to go back up. And if you're doing amazing, you just never know when it's going to crash back down.
Yeah.
And so you have to like be okay with who you are regardless. And I feel that we figured that out. And I really am happy about that.
Mm-hmm. No, I love that, dude. That's great. That's really good. To take that side that you just said, I'm going to go more technical on a literal thing I learned of how to do this better. It feels hard for me to like say this. I don't want to say this like I'm giving advice, so I hope that doesn't sound this way because you and I, it's not like we're massive in the space or anything.
No,
but
not
we're definitely. You and I hit a big growth the second March hit, right around Project Hail Mary, mid-March. In the last 2.5 months is when we figured it out. But it wasn't just the Ryan Gosling thing. It was we actually changed our clips, and I kind of want to talk about this. We completely modified how we do things. I'd like to say this because there's a lot of podcasts I see that are, and again, smaller than us and their clips don't do it. People don't care about your rankings. People don't care if you've got some crazy hot take, you're going to just rage bait, you're going to say these things. People don't care. Yeah. It's the unfortunate truth that just none of those work. You and I put out a billion. Oh, these are our top 3, these are our top whatever. None of them do anything. None of them do anything.
Your energy doesn't win people over.
No, it doesn't. The only thing that wins people over is 2 things. 1, we added images. You have to put an image on the thing.
Some visual draw.
You have to have visuals. It's crazy. The second we added that in, changed everything. Also, when we do clips now, it's always in the middle of conversations, and you have to just be regular analysis. Every single time we do regular stuff like that, it always does well now that we do that. Yeah. Like, it's just changed everything for us. So that's why in some ways, like, our growth lately doesn't feel to me to be like something that's a fluke. Like, we have something tangibly that was like, oh, that happened, and then boom. Like, I think from our year of doing the podcast, I'd reckon to say 9 months of it, the last 2.5 months, we've done more for the podcast than we did in the first 9.5.
Yeah.
Maybe not in terms of how much we learned, because obviously those 9.5 months showed us what we needed to know for these last 2.5. But it's exciting for me because it's like, we're on to this. Yeah. But it is something to say. I feel like so many people get in and you're so excited to share your opinions, but a lot of times people don't care, you know? So you almost have to find the thing that's, like, you got to talk about it in a deeper way than just, I like this movie, I don't like this. Like, it's just people don't care. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I hate to say it because, like, I care for, well, I'll watch other people's clips like that, but the vast majority of them, they just never do well.
People are looking for a take they haven't heard before. They're not looking maybe for energy, but they're looking for an angle at something that they haven't maybe seen.
Yeah.
And, like, again, and there's so many people, like, there's so many people that we follow and we love that do this movie's great, you gotta go see it. But again, it's the whole, like, they've earned the ability to say that.
Right.
And like, until then, it's like you have to.
Because you have the following.
Right. Until then, you have to, but this comes with a caveat. You have to, your content needs to engross people in what you're saying, because what you're saying is like the fifth angle of a square that people haven't seen yet.
Right.
But on the other hand, it's like, I would say if you worry about every clip being like your magnum opus, like, you're just going to burn out.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be. There's going to be some where it's like you're just posting so that you can stay in the algorithm and live to see another day.
Yes.
And there's some clips that I've made where I'll send it to you with the understanding that these will not be the ones that send us over the top. But it's just another 2 clips a day where people get to see us in their feed again.
Yes.
And that's really what it is. And it just keeping yourself present there.
Yep.
So that it becomes a situation where maybe people aren't expecting you to have maybe people aren't expecting you to have that game-changing take all the time, but if, say, Minions and Monsters comes out in July or August and you don't post about it, people are like, where'd they go? Like, you got to get to that point first before you can say anything else.
Right.
And that's that's really the tricky part.
Yes.
Because for a while we were posting 3 times a day, and I was like working I maybe put like, it took like 2.5 hours to edit the episodes. It took 12 to edit all the clips, because I was making 12 to 15 clips per episode, and it was like everyone had to be totally perfect. And it got to a point where you kind of learn, like, the algorithm it's so technical, but like the algorithm isn't looking for you maybe always to be posting 3 times a day, because if you post that many times, it intentionally doesn't boost certain clips, because it just assumes that why boost this one when he's just going to post another one in 2 hours. So it's like you got to kind of know when to scale back, and it's a real game you got to play.
It is, yeah.
It's tricky.
Yep.
But again, believe in yourself and, like, always have something valuable to say other than, I just saw this movie and y'all got to go see it, because it rips.
Right.
It rips. Because, like, you could very easily just spend the $12 and go see it yourself and figure that out for yourself. Like, you're not looking for somebody to say, I can confirm it's great. It's a good movie.
Yes. No, they don't care.
I can confirm, guys, Star Wars is back. You know what I mean? With The Mandalorian. Like,
exactly.
How many people have said that? But like, you got to find a new angle.
Yes.
You know, and that's why.
Yes.
Again, not to pat ourselves on the back, but that's why when we're talking about Mando and Grogu, it's not, is this the best Star Wars movie ever? It's what could they maybe do to Grogu to revitalize that story? Like, how do you lead into Ahsoka? Like, there's other angles you intentionally walk yourself down to try and get to. Yeah.
It's like, we used to post for our clips. We would start out, a lot of our clips would be our rating. We would post that whole thing of putting our score. dude, again, they don't care. But also the dead space thing, you got to be so careful when you post clips, because I tried to think about it this way. When I'm on TikTok, I almost naturally am planning to scroll. A lot of times I'll scroll and then scroll back based on the first second of what I just heard.
Yeah.
So having that image first off, but also just being right in the middle of the conversation is exactly what you need. Mm-hmm. It's just you can't. So many clips I see of podcasts that do it now, and again, no hate on this. It's just what it is.
Yeah, everybody's doing their own thing.
The first 2 seconds of their clip, it's almost like nothing's happened. Like, I don't even mean to say. I mean, like, literally, it'll be silence.
Right.
You just can't do that.
Right. And if it's somebody like Jandro, where it's like he's like sitting there and he's like thinking to himself for a couple
because
seconds.
Because he's
coy. You're like it's coy and something he's about to freaking cook out of his mind.
Right.
But it's like
if you and I had 50,000 followers, different story.
Right. But if you and I are sitting here in silence now, it's like I would hope you scroll. Yeah. Because there's better stuff out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. But yes.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
So it's been again, like you said, we're not in like some legendary place. We don't have like all the followers in the world, but like I feel like we're learning at a very rapid pace because of the lows, and I'm glad for them. You know. Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for this. I want to know what you think was my worst take of the podcast so far. If you have any that come to mind. I know I usually have great takes.
The Cars one was ridiculous. We had that. It was 20 minutes of a Cars argument. We argued about whether Cars 3 should have ended the way it did. Like if Lightning McQueen should have finished the race, or if it should have been what the heck's her name? I think that's our answer. Cruz, yeah. Cruz Ramirez. But like I that was a rough take. However, I appreciated that we argued for that long and didn't change the other person's mind. We just kind of walked away from it. It was like,
that was good.
Yeah. Also, the Last Jedi one just grinds my gears. I mean, we've talked about it so much lately with it being Star Wars month, but like it just bothers me to no end that like.
Funny enough, that would be mine for yours.
Oh,
unfortunately.
Really?
But we've said that, so I'm trying to think of something else that would be.
I think the Cars one's up there for me.
Yeah.
Because you haven't.
You were kind of
What I appreciate about you is you never try and like rage bait. Like you never try and like clip farm with your takes. It's always genuine, and you don't have that many like outrageous things to say. But like when you do feel a certain way, you really do double down on it.
Yeah, I'm stubborn about it.
There's no changing your mind.
I'm like this in real life too.
100%.
Like Hannah can tell you. I mean,
you definitely are. So there's certain takes that you have that like aren't crazy. It's more the frustrations. Like I get frustrated the second something leaves your mouth sometimes because I'm like. We're going to talk about this for 25 minutes, and it's going to be for absolutely nothing. He's not changing his mind, dude.
No conversion. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You saying Wicked was a 10 out of 10 is probably one of the worst things.
Can I say that was?
I know it was a joke.
Yeah, that was the one time I was rage. I
know.
Clip farming.
That was pretty bad. Tough look. I'm trying to think of what other things you said.
I totally made like a really good argument for it too.
You did. That's the thing that makes me the most sick about this podcast, okay? It makes me sick because you are so good at arguing. You really are. I'll give you that compliment that sometimes when you say something ridiculously stupid, I don't even know how to I feel like I can't outduel you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I know it's ridiculous. But
I know he's wrong, but he just worded it a certain way.
Yes. Like, dang it, dude.
Was there a time? Like with the Cars?
All the time. No, the Cars thing was the most confident I felt about something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I felt like
There were certain points I dropped where I was like, oh, that's the one. That's the one. That's the Mona Lisa.
I'll keep pondering the rest of this episode. What other things I hated that you said?
It was mostly the Cars one. The Cars one frustrated me. That was the loudest I ever got on the podcast.
Yeah, that was...
The Finding Nemo one, because at first you were hating like hard, and you've come around a little bit. Like you don't love Finding Nemo any more than you did, but there's more of like a respect for my love of Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
That wasn't there at first. Mm-hmm. And it was the one time I ever had to like cut a curse word out of the podcast. Because I couldn't take it anymore.
Couldn't take it.
But yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Going forward, what do you think you're most excited for coming up with the podcast?
You know what? And it's interesting because, and I'm interested to hear what you touch on. We have guests that we have planned. We have movies coming out that like I've been excited to cover since we even just started the show. I'm just excited to do it all like with you, like to just do it together.
Yeah.
I could not do this alone. If I could, I wouldn't. Like I just am. it's like it without sounding too like mushy or cliche. It's like, to me, it's like it's us or it's not. We're not. It's just not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm so excited to not just have this thing that's working, but to like have things to look forward to with somebody as special as you, and to just like have that to do together. So I truly, that's like my thing. It's just that we have like. We're just working as a unit to like see these things through, and that any good thing that happens will happen to both of us. So
that's cool. Yeah, that is cool. Right. It's nice to feel like there's something. A lot of life you get excited for with things, and it's always just you in it. And so it is cool because every time something cool happens, I know you're equally as excited as I am. And there's not many things in life that happens for at all.
Yeah.
Sports, like I don't have any actual, like my dad's nice and he'll fully support, and you guys are always nice, my friends, but like nobody fully gets it the same way I do. We always, the second somebody says they'll come on, like we both, I know we both are jazzed about it,
Yeah.
Am I allowed to use this? Can I use this as our time to tease some stuff, to announce stuff?
Yeah, we've actually been talking about doing this for a while.
Do you want to do this now? Officially announce it?
Who do we want to reveal?
Are we going to do those two that we're saying?
Yeah, sure.
We have two coming up very soon. As we've been like teasing for a while, and we keep mentioning it and stuff. There are a lot of people we have coming on, and it's not just like I don't mean this to belittle anybody. It's not just like, oh, it's people coming. Like it's like we got some pretty heavy hitters that are
like
coming
creators in the space.
Yeah. People that you should know. And we're doing 2 this month. The first one we're going to be doing, first shout out, Light Force Podcast. We're going to be having them on. Probably in a couple weeks, actually. Yeah. This should be very soon.
Yeah.
We're recording for sure in June.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be coming out. So we're super excited to talk with them. Mm-hmm. They do a lot of great content over there.
Yeah, they talk a lot of Star Wars. They talk a lot of Star Wars and X-Men, so we're excited to get into it.
Oh, I'm so excited to talk with them.
They live and die by X-Men.
They do. And you know what's fun is we do agree on a lot of stuff as much as we joke. Just in listening to their stuff, there's a lot I can't wait to totally disagree with. So I'm excited. They have great takes, but also there's a lot I'm excited to get into.
Yeah.
That's going to be a really fun one. We have just a huge one, and we're finally going to say the name. We're getting duct takes on the podcast. How crazy is that, dude? I can't even imagine.
Oh, we're so excited.
I'm probably going to say this to them when they come on. I think the thing that made this moment so much cooler for me was when we finally got kind of official, like, because obviously we go back and forth with people where they're like, yeah, we'd be, like we'd kind of work it out. When you kind of feel like you lock it in.
Yeah.
I said to Hannah, I said, we're getting these guys on. We got these huge guys coming on our podcast. And she said, who is it? And I said, oh, it's these guys. And I looked up duct takes and I showed it to her. And she said, oh, I know them. That was the point that it like hit me, Hannah is not somebody, she watches movies and stuff, but she's not somebody that's in our space. Like she's not looking at stuff at all.
Right. She doesn't follow 60 people. Yeah, 60 creators.
That was like a really cool moment.
Awesome.
Like they're huge. Mm-hmm. They have over 1 million followers on stuff.
They're the best. And they've been killing it forever.
They've been awesome.
They've been doing sick, dude.
The thing is, we've been wanting to do this for a while. We were hoping to have them on, I think, like very soon. Blake has been doing, he had his honeymoon, he had a lot of stuff
going on.
They got a ton going on.
Busy people.
Like the date is like working, but it's imminent.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we're kind of just trying to narrow down exact time. So dude, just a lot of exciting stuff with those two though. I'm really excited for Light Force and Duct Takes.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
But I can't believe that. Like it's cool to meet new creators that I've never met in the space and stuff. It's another thing when it's people that you watched before you even sniffed the podcast.
Yeah, like for some of them, it's like you got me through COVID.
Dude, it's just so...
You got me through COVID, and now I'm talking to you, and not just like, hey, love your stuff, thanks, man.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, come on my show. Okay, can't wait.
Yeah.
I see you guys.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to come on.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
Like, even, we put out a post for the year thing. Yeah. We put out a post, and, like, they're commenting on it, just showing us love.
Yeah, people were the best.
So cool. Yeah.
Actually, I won't say that.
What?
No, I was going to give a hint.
But don't. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So we won't say the other names. But there are
it's just going to keep coming. The hits keep coming. Yeah.
And we're very excited. We don't want to, like, I don't know. Again, we were talking about this. I was telling you about how, like, one of my pet peeves is when people are like, oh, I can't say I better keep this on the down low.
Right.
It's like, just say it, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason we're not saying anything is because we got a yes from these people, but like we still have to nail down a date.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to like make sure we have like a definitive this is happening.
Yeah, I don't want to say it and then it doesn't work out.
Right.
But again, all these people that we're mentioning have said yes.
It was a very firm yes. We just don't have a date.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So
things come up, things happen. These people are so busy. So
right.
Obviously, the fact that they're making time for us is crazy and cool in itself. But
oh yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe that's gonna happen. That's gonna be I don't want to like glaze too much, but like I'm gonna be kind of shell shocked when we first start recording.
Yeah.
Like when we're just looking across at
might have to
Blake
give
and
it a couple
Garrett,
minutes,
dude.
yeah.
Like, be like, guys, just give me 1 second.
It's gonna feel trippy. There were a couple times when we were talking to the parking lot takes guys because they filmed their video chat. Like we zoomed with them and then they sent us their files after, and I edited it in.
Yeah.
But there were a couple times because they recorded on their set and their Zoom thing was going through like the background that they always use on their episodes. There were points because I only ever talked to them or seen them on their set. Like there were points where they were just like talking about a certain movie, and I was like watching like I would on TikTok, and I had to like remember, no, they're talking to me.
Yeah. Oh shoot, I gotta respond. Yeah. It is weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
But we're very excited, and then we're actually I'll give this shout as well. We're going to be on a couple podcasts over the next couple months. We're very excited. We've been talking to
a little pre-shout out.
Yeah, we've been talking to the good fellas over at the Film Room Pod. We're very excited about that.
Very cool guys.
Very excited.
Which, hopefully by the time this comes out, congratulations.
Yeah, we got a new dad over here.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Which is going to be huge. I imagine we're going to talk about that.
We're actually supposed to record tonight with them
until... That's right.
Yeah.
And then we got across the pond, we got our buddies over at a great up-and-coming pod, Spaced Out podcast.
Spaced Out.
Yeah, a couple buddies there. We're going to talk Marvel, I believe, some Spider-Man stuff with them. So, yeah, we're excited. But we have a lot to look forward to, and we're very excited about what's coming, confirmed and not. So, but... all that to say, you want to keep moving? What else?
Yeah. Of course. Last of these kind of things.
Yeah.
A goal for the next year. We'll just keep it short. What's a goal that you got? Because I have one. One big one. I would like, whether it's a creator event intentionally or anything. Well, I would love to be at a creator event.
I'm going to echo that.
I would love that. And specifically because we're going to be talking to a lot of these people, the idea that you and I could show up to that and people would just know us. We wouldn't have to introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
And we could just be cool with people.
Yeah. Because we've talked about this. Like, we feel very comfortable in who we are. We feel very happy about our show. But there's a certain sentiment that's attached with those types of events where, candidly, it's like when people get invited to those things, it's like you're in. Mm-hmm. So it's like we would just love to get a shout for one of those things. Not like begging or asking for anything.
No.
But like just like if you had to make me pick a goal, I'd say, man, it would be sick to like go dap up Sammy J or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it'd be sick to go talk to those people. It just in person. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna echo that actually. That's a big one. Yeah.
For making a point as well, we've been talking about all these people. I just wanted to quickly. I was going to shout people out at one point. I just wanted to do it quick. We've had so many people support us, obviously. So those people know who they are.
Yeah.
People on the show as well. I wanted to shout out, obviously, lovely girlfriend Hannah. Your lovely fiance Sage, who was on the episode. We've had Cam on. He goes without saying. He. No. Four-time guest. Four-time guest. The four-timer. The best four-time guest we've had.
The Golden Goose.
Third mic. Josh came on.
Yeah.
We've had Jonah on.
Oh yeah.
Lot of great to have those people on. We love them so much.
Yeah, dude.
Also, obviously, Christian and Brandon from Parking Lot Takes.
Yep.
They're always gonna have. People always say your first is the most important. They
would actually love you saying that.
I know. They are going to always have a special place in my heart forever because of just what it means to be the first people in the space to really come on and embrace our show for what it is. And they did not just come on, they really fully have shown us so much love.
Yeah.
So I cannot thank them enough. Future groomsmen in my wedding. I mean, these...
Christian's actually going to be my ring bearer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Not his son?
I was surprised at how fast he's... No.
That's great.
I was surprised at how fast he said yes.
Yes. And lastly, I also want to thank Drew Whipple, man.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody is more the man than Drew.
Coolest dude.
He's so awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like we mentioned him the other day a little bit because he, obviously designed. I have it underneath, but designed the.
Yeah, dude.
Probably one of my favorite items of merch that we have, if not my favorite. Dude, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
He is so good at what he does. I love his content. I felt like bad almost that we undersold him because we mentioned that he hit 10K on Instagram. That was supposed to be a congratulations thing, but that also ignored the fact that he has 350,000 on TikTok and like the same on YouTube. Dude is
all
crazy.
deserved, dude.
All
He's the
very
best.
deserved. Yeah,
He's the best.
He's
And
awesome.
he makes time for everybody. He's like always just the nicest guy.
Mm-hmm.
And just the coolest dude. Just the coolest dude.
Talk about somebody you want to go to lunch with, man.
Yeah.
Hey, we're over in Cleveland. I think he's in Cleveland. I don't know where he is. I don't know. Maybe you can
We'll have to hit him up.
cut that.
Dock him.
Yeah, I doxed him. Yeah.
He's at 43 Cherry Lane.
Right.
He's just the nicest guy.
Before we move into our fan segment to close out, I made a blind ranking. I want to talk through these moments with you, but I wanted you, because I was assembling it, I thought it'd be funny for you to blind rank them.
Okay.
Funniest moments of the podcast.
Okay. But we have to come to these decisions together, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll come overall, but I want you to blind rank them first. Okay.
But I have no idea what any of these are.
No.
This is the one part you left off of the
I did. I
itinerary
leaved
here.
off the dock.
Yeah.
All right.
me
So
lock
you're
in.
first. So you have a total of 8, okay? So you're going 1 to 8.
Sure.
Your first one is we surprised each other, and it was the Halloween episode.
I can't think of a better moment than that, actually.
Really?
8.
You think really?
Like, it's definitely
It's
top
up there
3.
for
It's
sure.
top 3.
It's up there.
I'd say maybe 2 or 3.
Okay.
What would you say?
I think it's up there. I would go. I
have
base
no
it
idea
on
what you
how
put on
hard.
here.
I base it. It's interesting because a lot of these, we both reacted differently to the clips. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
some of them you said it's something I said.
Yeah.
I almost laughed. There's a couple things I think I laughed harder at,
Yeah.
but it was such a funny moment
Yeah.
for like everyone objectively.
Yeah.
I would maybe 2. Is that crazy?
2 is good.
Okay.
I think 2 is good.
All right. Next, you've got 9 out of 10. Baby, I'm pilled when Sam finally saw Wicked. I love that.
That was so funny.
That clip is interesting because I don't know if I'd say it's the funniest, but here's the thing. I use that all the time now. 9 out of 10, baby, I'm pilled. It's just it's such a. If we create another shirt like that, I think we should do that.
Oh, really? Out of 8.
I think it's
To me,
lower.
to me, I'll be honest. We have a lot of moments that are like on par with that. So I'd probably go like 6 or maybe 6 for me. 6.
Okay. Yeah, I'd go 7 probably.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But 7's all right.
We have
So we have 2 and 7.
We have the "you're wrong" in the Cars 3 argument.
That's when you finally hit the fan.
Yeah. You're wrong. No, you're wrong. I think I said it like 5 times, and you and I both raised voices at each other. I think we were both standing at one point.
Just add a frame. Maybe 4 or 5. I feel like that's a perfect middleman.
Okay, I
What would
like
you
that.
say?
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
with that. I'm with that. 5.
Let's do 5.
I would do 5. Yeah.
So we have 2, 5, and 7.
Okay. We have an early one. We have the wand in the pocket.
Oh, dude, that was hilarious.
That was really
so
good.
funny. Maybe
I might put that 3.
3.
Yeah.
3's perfect.
Wand in the pocket.
That was so funny. That was hilarious.
It's funny that I'm realizing
What was
now
the
as we talk
context
through
of
this,
that?
we're not explaining context.
Yeah, what was
at
the
all, so
context?
I was suggesting maybe why I don't like Harry Potter is it feels like there's a lot of people that walk around and they're a little too into the scene. And I was saying, they've got their wand in their pocket.
Yeah, you were like, they're walking around like showing off how much they like Harry Potter.
It's like they've got a wand in their pocket.
It's like they got a wand in their pocket for Harry Potter. Hey.
What makes some of these moments so funny to me is you and I like to keep we are trying to keep this as whatever as we can.
We're like religiously clean.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's just funny whenever there's things that kind of sound interesting.
Yeah, we like try not like religiously. I mean, we both are, believers, but like we both like are very adamant about like make sure anyone can watch this show.
Yeah.
But there's just some stuff that we sneak in there.
We cannot leave that out.
Yeah. That's funny.
Next you've got.
So wait. So we have 2, 3.
Yep.
What was it? 5 and 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next you've got that would be James Gunn's Batman, the Scooby snacks.
4?
You know what's funny, dude? That's one of my favorite moments. That's one of the hardest I've laughed personally. I don't know if it's the funniest in general, but that's one of the hardest you've made me laugh.
I was essentially we were talking about what would James Gunn's Batman look like.
That's a better one for me than you probably.
I essentially theorized that James Gunn's Batman is going to be like Batman and Scooby-Doo, or Batman and Robin meet Scooby-Doo or whatever, where like in that old cartoon, like Scooby-Doo's like they're like trying to pursue Joker and Penguin, and Scooby-Doo gets like psyched out of his mind and he like won't go into the room and he's like terrified, and Batman opens up his pocket and pops him a Scooby snack, and it's like Batman just magically has this like in his tool belt. Yeah. He has like a pocket devoted to Scooby snacks all of a sudden.
And it was you explaining it to me that then Scooby calms down. That was all
he just immediately was ready to go.
That would be James Gunn's Batman. Just Scooby snacks at the whim.
I think that's a good 4. So the 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7.
Yeah.
All right.
We've got the original Goonoff.
Oh man!
I wish people saw the unedited version of that clip.
What was the context of the original? Can we talk about it?
Was this the Fisk versus Cecil?
Yes.
This was when we were talking about Wilson Fisk versus
Cecil. It was an emergency pod we did when Mark and Conquest fought for the second time, and there was the whole scene with the guts and everything.
Yes.
And so you proposed the question because at the time Daredevil had just started. Who would win in a goon-off between Kingpin's goons and Cecil's goons? Like whose goons would win? And
anyway, it's just funny.
It devolved very quickly.
It did devolve.
I think I cut like 5 minutes out.
It's probably some of the best raw footage that's not on our podcast.
The episode ended up being like 33 minutes. I think like the unedited was like 42.
So good.
That's
so good. Where do we put that?
Probably 6, right? Because you can't put it 1 yet. I don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
I feel like you got like a winner saved.
Well, we'll see. Did I
screw it for
No,
us?
I don't think you screwed it. I'm just curious.
Okay.
Next we've got the Finding Nemo discussion the first time when you explained, you poured your heart out to me about why you did, and I went, meh.
I gave like a long spiel about like what it was about how like Marlon reminds me of my dad and how caring he was when I was growing up, and like I'll always see that and associate it with my dad, and I hope I could be half the dad my dad was to my son someday. And you're just like, I just don't see it. It was the first time I cursed.
Nice speech, bud.
I cursed at you. We cut it. It was like a nightmare. It was awful. I don't know, because now we just have what, the last spot? 1 and 8?
Yeah.
What would you do? You know what's coming.
Yeah. I don't know if either of them.
Darn it! I screwed us.
No.
Should I put 2 at 1?
No. See, the problem is I actually didn't put these in an order. These are all just on a sheet, so that's part of my. That's my fault. That's my fault. But it's still fun to reminisce. So.
I'll put it at 8 and just see what happens.
Yeah. The last one I have is from the PLT episode, actually.
Yeah?
Quote, I would get rid of Doomsday. Again, one's got to go.
Yeah. Well, that was a funny thing because it was the first time we heard like somebody else in the space
say
use our
bit.
terminology.
Yes.
And it was very true. Like one time we were talking, one time we did like Burn It or Back It. And we posted it was one of the first Burn It or Back It's we ever did. It was like about Pirates of the Caribbean or something, and we were Spider-Man or something, and we posted it on Instagram, and the Escape Pod actually commented, and they were like, we wish we did Burn It or Back It instead of Agree or Disagree. And it was like, what?
That was crazy.
It was like at that point we had only been around for like a month, and it was like very wild.
Yeah.
But it's so funny, like face to face, like hearing people use like we have the game One's Got to Go where we name 3 things and you have to eliminate one. It's funny, like. You know, we always like over exaggerate how extensive and complicated the game is, and then we're just like, one's got to go. Like it's really just that simple. But we always overblow it, and so it was just funny hearing like Brandon just hey, one's got to go.
Again, one has got to go. It was funny for me after looking at it when you cut to you and I, and we both look over at each other briefly because we didn't look at each other the whole time.
Yeah, right. They just kept moving on.
That was the one time we both like looked over, and it was so funny, so hard not to laugh.
That would probably, if I had to pick, be in somewhere in the middle or something.
Like that was probably 5. What do you think would be the funniest if you could? I didn't have enough time to go back through all our episodes, so there's some moments that I knew that were funny, but I didn't have enough to.
I think my all-time favorite conversation with you was the Cars thing. Mm-hmm. It wasn't our positive or most funny, but it was like we like both like that was us. That was for real. Like we hashed it out.
Right.
That was legit. Mm-hmm. That was fun.
That was fun.
I don't know if that was like that. I don't know if that was my favorite, but that was like the best. Mm-hmm. That was definitely, I think, the best the podcast has been so far.
All right. Well, that concludes our moments of the year.
Yeah.
Funniest moments of the year.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That's solid. I think that was my worst blind ranking results I've ever done. Like I
also
totally
I didn't set you up for anything at all. So
sure.
So that was on me. I'll take the L.
No, you're good.
I wish I had gotten to get more time to go through our old episodes for it.
Yeah.
From now on, I'm going to start writing down when these things happen so that I can remember for next year.
If you're able to find the clips, like I can even like
I have a couple of them.
I can put them back in there. Like,
I have
for
a couple
context.
For
like
sure.
I could always do a rewind.
Okay, I'll try and work on that today.
Yeah, you want to do that?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. Do you want to move into the potties?
Yeah. We going potty?
Yeah. Do you want to introduce this?
Yeah. So you and I have a couple like year review awards that we want to give out, and we were thinking, what could we possibly title this thing? What could we title this segment? We don't want to just do awards or award season.
No.
Welcome to the potties.
The potties.
Welcome to the potties.
The potties.
Oh, the
brand new shirts dropped. The potty shirts.
The potty shirts. the long anticipated potties. So we have 3 awards that we're giving out. We're very excited. A lot of nominees, and it's less like we've chosen a winner, and more we're going to come to that now. We're going to name them and try and decide.
You're seeing it in live time.
Yes. We're going to figure this out as we go.
The esteemed potties.
The very esteemed potty. Sorry, I'm not wearing a suit for the potty. But what do we got here? What's the first category?
First thing is favorite movie of the year.
Now, these are movies that we've collectively agreed are some of the best that we've covered since we started the pod.
Right, and this is since we've started the pod during the duration.
Yes,
okay.
So this isn't January to now. This is...
Yes, and this is also not things we brought up like a Shawshank. This is just...
Sure, this is May to May. Every movie that's come out since the podcast started.
Yes.
So we have, what are the nominees?
All right, so we've got Project Hail Mary, Superman, Sinners, Marty Supreme, and Thunderbolts.
All great. All great. All really good.
I'm really torn on this.
I think, and I'll say this, I think the 2 ones that can go are Sinners. Not Sinners, I'm sorry. Marty Supreme and Thunderbolts.
Interesting. You know what's interesting about this?
What?
Is, interestingly enough, these 5 movies, only 2 of them I have as a 4.5 on Letterboxd. And Marty Supreme is one of them.
The others you have a less or a 5?
4.
Did you? Was there any other that you put in a 5?
5-star. No 5 stars.
Since we started the podcast, there hasn't been a 5-star movie.
No, not in my opinion.
Interesting. Sinners was a 5-star from. I guess now, if I rewatched it, I'd probably put it at 5. I put it at 9 back then. I think I put Project Hail Mary at a 5.
Oh. You know what I think? I think collectively between us, the one we've been most high on together is Project Hail Mary.
I'd say Project Hail Mary and Superman. We both were high on
Superman. We're very high, yeah.
We talked about Superman to the
point. Okay, are we talking about now, or are we talking about when we watched it?
Over the course of the podcast, I feel that there was a period...
Superman train has been...
There was a period where we spoke about Superman so frequently that we're pigeonholing ourselves into being a Superman podcast.
Doesn't that feel like ages ago, though?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Wow.
But that deserves a second look just because of that.
It does. It does.
We talked for so long about that movie after the fact that we are like, I'm worried we're becoming a Superman podcast. Mm-hmm. And we had to pivot.
Mm-hmm. I would go Project Hail Mary.
I'd probably go... So now this is the one that what would you choose as the one we loved the most? Or this is...
Yes, both.
Then it would probably be Hail Mary.
No, because I think Sinners I liked, but I didn't like it to the level you did.
But can we both agree if we were talking about technically what's the best movie that's come out in that span, would we say probably Sinners? Or would you say something like something that wasn't even on here, like Train Dreams or something?
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Train Dreams is another good one.
It's a good shout.
It probably is Hail Mary.
It's definitely those 2, I think, is the best as far as a movie goes.
All right.
I think Hail Mary is a lot more of a exciting ride.
And the winner of the first ever potty,
Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary.
Wow. What would you say is your favorite movie that we've reviewed? Call me crazy. Call me crazy.
Okay.
I think it's probably Marty Supreme.
You're crazy. You are crazy.
Is that?
No. Marty Supreme. We were.
I don't know if it's because my expectations were just fine.
Yeah, we were. That was it. We were the most pleasantly shocked.
I had such a good time.
We were the most stunned at how good that movie was, every other movie I think we walked into, like, this is probably going to be spectacular.
Right.
And Marty Supreme was like, it had the makings of an Oscar-winning movie, clearly.
Right.
But, like, we didn't walk out of it, or we didn't walk into it thinking, like, we're sitting down to watch a 10 out of 10 movie.
Yeah,
we
maybe
walked
I'm
out
overrating. Then it's that or Hail Mary for me. Yeah.
It's Hail Mary. I think Hail Mary is like the
in terms of my
mix
favorite though.
It's technically there's an argument for the best movie, and then just even emotionally and like what we like as people, like it's the best. It was probably the one.
Yeah.
I would say still don't sleep on Superman. It might not be a perfect movie, but we enjoyed the heck out of that, and we talked about that for a while.
For sure.
I would say Superman's up there.
Yeah.
But.
No, good picks. Okay.
All right.
Do the next potty for us.
The second potty category, we're going into Actor of the Year. So again, this is May of 25 to May of 26. Who is the actor of the first year of the podcast? The nominees are Michael B. Jordan, David Corenswet, Pedro Pascal, Jafar Jackson, and Tom Cruise.
I'll tell you who it's not. It's not Pedro, in my opinion.
I put Pedro on the basis that like last year was like the year of Pedro Pascal.
I know.
He was in everything.
We covered 3 movies with him.
Shows, movies.
Is he the most covered we did?
Probably.
Materialist?
Yeah, probably. I'd say.
Fantastic Four, Mando and Grogu.
Probably, dude.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Last of Us?
Yeah.
So there was a lot. He was in a ton of stuff.
Oh, I miss talking about Bella Ramsey.
You do? I don't.
Well, we had some funny moments though.
I was like counting down the days until we didn't have to talk about Bella Ramsey anymore.
Where do you read? Ready? Give me your answer. 3, 2, 1. Where you
Can
go?
I be totally crazy for a second? Tom Cruise. Because his stunt in that last Mission Impossible was so amazing that was like you came to me one day and you were like, hey, you know how we've been talking about doing a podcast? And I was like, yes. And you were like, if we see this movie next week and it's actually as unbelievable as it appears it is going to be, I feel like we can't. This is the movie we can no longer like stand by and like not have a podcast to talk about this thing. Like I would want to have some platform for us to talk about this. Like it was Tom Cruise created the pod.
Friend of the pod.
He is a friend of the pod.
He's the big guest reveal. No.
He is. Yeah.
I see
the
vision.
Maybe he's not the best actor of the last year.
No, he's not. But I see what you're saying.
Significance to us.
That's such a. Yeah. Screw it. He doesn't get enough love. Let's be the one to give him the love.
Sure.
This is a pro Tom Cruise podcast.
Yeah. Who would the backup be? Just Michael B. Jordan? Because I would also say
crazy, but Jafar.
Jafar was up there for me too, dude.
He was unbelievable.
Unreal. He became his uncle. And then you have David Corenswet. He revived the DC.
I might go
DCU?
I might go Jafar next. As far as just an acting performance.
I'm into that, dude.
He was crazy.
Definitely
Probably
into that.
Potentially the best.
Maybe the best. Dare you say the best?
Dare I say?
All right, and then at last, it's been a long segment, long show. Sorry to keep you for so long, but you know we've come to the end of the potties.
The end of the potties.
After 8 minutes, we've come to the end of the potties. Never to be seen again. So, what is the final category we have here?
We have probably the most prestigious award we have.
Oh,
Frenemy of the pod.
This is like best actor. What is it?
Frenemy of the pod. So our nominees.
This is what you work for.
We have the Duffer Brothers. We have Zendaya. We have James Gunn.
Can I say I'm going to put this out here? The Zendaya thing is not. This is a one-sided hate smear campaign.
A little bit. You just hate her.
I don't hate her.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Well, we were trying to think. You know what's funny? You asked me. You were like, because we only have 3 nominees for this, and it should be a good thing that like you only have 3 people that you kind of despise that you have to talk about.
Right.
But you were like, can we come up with more people to like hate so that we have more nominees?
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like that's
we need to start add them up.
I feel like that's not the point.
Yeah.
I don't think it's not.
There is a clear answer in my opinion. He is just the man when it comes to this podcast. He
has sat atop the throne of hatred for months now.
We are so bipolar with this man. It's James Gunn.
It's James Gunn.
He wins.
Runaway winner of Frenemy of the Pod.
Congratulations, James Gunn. He's flying out to accept his award.
Nobody does it like him.
Nobody.
Truly.
Master troller.
He is. I struggle with James Gunn.
I know.
He'll win me over at some point. Probably not now.
That might be one of my favorite episodes we've done. If we had to say that is the Gun Jam.
You know what's funny about that though? Go back to the Gun Jammed episode. What is it, like 23 or something? The angle, we were trying different things with the angles. Is
that the zoomed in one?
Yes, it's you can see my nose hairs.
That's so awkward, man.
It's awful, dude.
Please listen on Spotify.
Like when I was clipping it, because you have to go into like a 16:9 aspect ratio, like my hat was cut off because we were so close to the camera. Like, it's crazy.
That might have been the Wicked one then, where that happened. The 9-10 baby pill.
It happened then too.
Yeah.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
I was gonna say, because that one for a while always bothered me because it was one of our most viewed clips anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time for our fan segment, which is so awesome that we get to do this. Mm-hmm. So cool.
Yeah.
Everything we're doing, reading off, is all from you guys. So
thank you for submitting
thank you for sending
questions,
us stuff.
your comments.
So cool. Yeah. That we get to do this.
We're hoping we can get to everything, but the camera batteries are acting up on us, so we'll try and do this as long as the power persists until they turn the lights off on us.
Yeah. Yes.
What do we got
so
here?
A lot of this is just going to be reading off. We're starting off with some general questions.
Yeah.
That we're going to kind of react to. People just wrote these directly, and then it's moving into Bernard or Backett style stuff that people sent. So,
cool.
Do you want to read the first one?
Yeah. All right, so the first one says, congratulations on 1 year of the pod. My question is, if Lucasfilm approached you and said they'd greenlight any type of project you pitched to them, what would you pitch?
Ooh.
We covered...
With Cam.
We asked Cam this, but we didn't really dive in deep.
No.
If Lucasfilm came to you with, you could get one dream project to come alive. I think I know yours.
I have two.
Yeah.
What do you?
I don't. Yeah, I have mine.
Okay.
I have mine. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course
All
I
right,
do.
Go ahead.
Of course I do. It'd be a multi-season animated Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Or Clone Wars animated style show between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens.
Yeah, that's good.
That would be mine. Like 4 or 5 seasons of just animated Clone Wars style, covering Luke, Han, Leia, Ben, all of them. Just fill in that gap.
Yes. I believe I said this episode, so I'm going to give a second one. The Grievous show is something I really love to see. Exploring his upbringing to kind of into Revenge of the Sith.
A little Star Wars special presentation?
Yeah,
Marvel
that'd be
style?
so cool.
That'd be cool.
That would be so cool.
That would
I
be
want
sweet.
that. This is not one project, I guess. But as a whole, I want a Old Republic trilogy.
Yeah, that was what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, that's what I want.
That's sweet.
Give me what I want.
Dude, how cool would that be? Oh my gosh.
I
Who would
need
you put in that?
Dude, talk about hype, man. I don't know what
That's
to do.
something I'd put like every ounce of budget into. Like I would put everything you have into that.
You could make that so unbelievable.
I would Christopher Nolan cast that
the
thing.
Scale
anyone who's willing to come on, I would throw like I would do an Odyssey style cast for that.
Yeah.
Anyone who says yes, I would do it. Mm-hmm. Gosh, I would not try and find like these like gems out of nowhere anymore. I think Star Wars tried that for a while, but I think they need like a face or something.
Yeah, dude, that'd be so crazy. That'd be so cool.
Gosh.
But thank you.
You talk about how people came back for Starfighter, hype-wise, because Ryan Gosling was attached. Imagine if, like, Star Wars just came out with this, like, 12 to 14-member ensemble of just, like, amazing actors in an Old Republic show.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It'd be nuts. Gosh, we need,
so
like,
good.
a Samuel L. Jackson in Star Wars.
Yes.
We need something like that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know who that would be right now.
I don't either, but there's plenty you could take from. I can think of like classically trained English actors from like The Crown that would be amazing as like Old Republic masters and stuff. Like I can think of a lot of people that would work in the context of the Old Republic. That would be so sick. But yeah, appreciate that question. That's a good one. I'm glad we covered that because we didn't really last time.
Okay. Next we have. Is this an annoying take that so many of our movies are either shocking, lots of horror right now, or draw on nostalgia? I think those are the two ends of the spectrum of escapism. But that's why you guys can't separate your emotional experiences from your objective rankings, because the point is to draw on nostalgia. Wow. Do you think that there's a ton of horror right now? Because I almost feel like there's a very proper amount of horror.
Well, I know what the person's saying. It's like it's a horror. It's like plot twists. It's like they're relying on some big thing rather than like don't mind that the first 2/3 of this are bullcrap because we switched something at the last second and like flipped your expectations on your end, and so it's like only focus on that.
Yeah,
I get what they're saying. Like think like shock value of, I get it, or nostalgia. I think that that's very true.
Yeah.
I honestly, and I'll just say this, like, as a reviewer, like, I think even if I could separate emotional experiences from, like, reviewing things or, like, looking at things, like, I don't think I could. I think it's very hard for me, personally, to just look at projects objectively, sometimes. Like, in most cases.
Yeah.
But, again, to their point, maybe it is because cinema is just so...
designed to play off your feelings, yeah.
So commonly draws from nostalgia that maybe that's why. I don't know. That's very interesting, though. But I think they're absolutely correct.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess technically every single sequel you do is in some ways a form of that.
Yeah, a prequel, or even if it's
anything
so many stories are painted as new now. But it's like you're getting this year. It's the Adventures of Cliff Booth, but it's even that's a spin-off on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's like even the fresh stories have to have some tie. To the point where you look at it and you're like, but there's not enough of like a niche fan base that just returned to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood to where it's like they're freaking out.
Yes.
Like people are freaking out because Fincher's attached to it and Tarantino wrote it. And like it's more that, you know?
Yeah.
So people want more. But I think as far as what we get, I think that's very true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it is like what the product is more nostalgia and shock value. But I feel that there is like if there were a pendulum for cinema, it's swinging more and more these days back in the direction of like for a while people were talking about how they want more creativity in Hollywood to now it's like the people are in place like Kane Parsons to actually make that happen. Mm-hmm. And now you're seeing these original stories. The guy who just did Obsession. I mean, these young creators.
Crazy. 750,000 or something for it?
It's unbelievable. The budget was $750K, and they're just about to cross $100 million.
That's insane.
It's crazy, dude. But like you're seeing that audience pendulum swing back towards. For so long, the complaint was there about creativity or a lack thereof in Hollywood, and now it's like the people are finally finding their footing to make those things happen. But yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you see it directly with Devil Wears Prada 2 making as much as it did, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I guess it just...
The issue is, I mean, it's lucrative enough that it probably will never stop. But, like, at least there's now more of, like, a tug-of-war between creativity and not. Mm-hmm. All right, so next up we have congrats on the anniversary. Thank you very much. Here's my topic. I've said before that for Star Wars films, Empire Strikes Back is my number 2, as well as my pick for second best and my second favorite movie in the franchise. But that my pick for the best and favorite and my objective number 1 film in the franchise are all 3 different films. Can you expand on that a bit and share your favorite, the best in your opinion, and what you think objectively belongs at 1? So this is interesting. Because this is interesting.
Mm-hmm. This is
interesting. I'm trying to figure out how different because this is forcing you to be different with your answer.
I'll say because my favorite, as we've said if you've listened to this podcast, my favorite's Revenge of the too much candy. No. My favorite's Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
And it is a fantastic movie, but I can acknowledge it's probably not the objective best.
No, there's
or the best as far as just a movie goes.
Sure. Do you have an answer for this?
I would say
start with your favorite.
Revenge. I would say then the best and the because I could make an argument that the objective best across the board is Empire, but in a way, I'm tempted to almost say it's New Hope.
That's what I was thinking. I was actually thinking A New Hope or Rogue One.
Interesting.
Because Rogue One is just a great...
Rogue One's so good.
Rogue One, you could actually show a non-Star Wars fan with no stake or prior experience in the franchise, and like they would probably clock that at like a 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
at least.
That's a good point.
It's just a great war.
So my question is, what do you term between when we say the best versus the objective best? What does that mean? Like the 2.
So, like for example, like
is that factoring in?
Like my favorite would be Revenge as well. I think my personal best, like I think the best Star Wars movie is probably Empire. Like objective best though, like what's the best Star Wars movie though? Then you're getting into as a movie, as a single thing, a single narrative, what's the best? And then I think when you're talking about like which Star Wars story is the most complete experience, you can enjoy start to finish. If you don't watch any other Star Wars movies, you still got the complete Star Wars experience. I would say there you go with A New Hope. if you're looking for just as a movie, which one is probably the best in terms of it's got the emotional stuff, it's got the gravity, and it's got the weight to it, it's got the loss and the life and the ups and the downs and the sacrifice and the redemption and the heart stopping moments with Vader and in the political statements. It's like it's got everything. It's got something to say. Like just as a movie, like Star Wars movies, some of the best ones have nothing to say. Like the Rogue One is a movie with something to say. Objectively, that could be the best Star Wars movie because in some ways it doesn't even feel like a Star Wars movie. It just feels like a great war movie.
Yeah.
Now, I think that the best Star Wars movie objectively is probably A New Hope because it's just a rounded experience. But I think,
yeah,
in my opinion,
so I guess I like the take because I actually do, I guess, would put all three different then.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Now, what's interesting is I was a huge Return of the Jedi fan. People who listen to the pod know this. And growing up, I would have said that was the best. But I understand now it's not. Like the absolute heater they went on at like the hour and a half mark doesn't negate the Ewok stuff or the Jabba stuff in the front. Like, I understand that. Like, you can't ignore it. So Return is probably the one in the OT that's probably out of there. But I think A New Hope and Empire and Revenge are the three that deserve to always be in like in terms of Star Wars movies, what's the favorite, what's the best?
Right.
You know, I don't think there's any others that are even in that conversation.
Yeah, I'm with it.
That is until Mando and Grogu came
along. Oh! Then we stopped in our tracks. Reverse all three are Mando. All right.
But
next we have, what is your pick for the best sci-fi / fantasy film, most influential sci-fi fantasy film, and our favorite? Are they the same or different? So that would be best, most influential, and favorite.
I think the best and the most influential in terms of the sci-fi genre. I think the best are the most influential.
Okay.
Like sci-fi is a genre of film that with every next big sci-fi epic, it always presents the challenge to the one that comes next. Beat me. Like top what I just did. Like it feels like the challenge is always there. Interstellar comes out, and so it's like with Arrival, it's like you better bring your best stuff next time, buddy. And then you got like your Blade Runner 2049. It's like how do we beat the last one? With every Star Wars, it's like maybe we don't have to be a better story, but how can we push the franchise to places we've never been? How can we tell a story we've never told? It's never just we are taking space and we're just sitting in space for a little bit and enjoying the pretty views. It's like, how can we really push the needle here?
Right.
So I think that the best sci-fi films are always by nature the most influential ones, because it's always the one that pushes the needle the furthest.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair take.
Now, that conversation is different from favorite, though, of course.
Would you say influential? Where do you put thing like I would? Would you not put something like 2001: A Space Odyssey?
It's for me
as the one. I think I would probably say that's the most influential, right? When it came out and everything.
For me, it's either 2001 or Interstellar.
But I think just timing-wise, it has to be, no? Because, like, for the longest time, I mean, we still talk about it, and it came out, what, 70?
Or, I mean, you could do boring, because we just talked about it, but you could say A New Hope as well.
True.
And then you could even get into, like...
A lot of people swear by the old Star Trek ones, too, but a lot of people love, Wrath of Khan, right?
Yeah. I think Star Trek, it's lost its audience.
Yeah.
I think people moved on.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it just didn't have the pull that Star Wars did. And listen, it's a franchise that deserves to be loved by certain people. I just think that there's nothing. There's nothing bringing. You're right. There's nothing bringing in new people. Mm-hmm. Whereas Star Wars always has something new to say, even if it's not loved by everybody. It's always something new. I would say. It's probably 2001.
Yeah, I'll probably go that for most influential. I think I'll say best is Interstellar.
100%. I agree.
I know people aren't necessarily going to immediately think of it as a sci-fi, but I think it is technically. Probably my favorite is Inception.
Interesting. Because that is sci-fi, I guess. You're right. Or is that more... what would that be?
I would call it like a mix, wouldn't you?
Sure. Well, I guess. I mean, it's kind of not dimensional stuff. Well, I guess it's interdimensional stuff. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, sci-fi by nature. Sure. I mean, then you even talk about things like E.T. or Back to the Future.
Back to the Future,
where you're taking sci-fi that up until that point had been this like scary thing where it's like don't touch sci-fi unless you're willing to really kind of freak your audience out with like the size of everything, like like just how small humanity is. And then you have people like Steven Spielberg taking sci-fi and compressing it down to a very human story.
Yeah. And
that's why Star Wars succeeds, because it does a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Like the galaxy is huge and endless, but also it's very people driven. And character driven, and then but like with like things like E.T., you're taking Marty McFly, like you're taking these characters and taking these big time travel, extra dimensional beings, and you're taking them and you're limiting them to, will this alien like the cereal that I eat in the morning? Like it's very like human things that like everybody can take something from.
Right.
Yeah, I'd probably say Interstellar is my favorite, but yeah, I mean
okay.
It's probably
what would rival that?
Like just personal preference?
Yeah, like favorite. If it's not Interstellar, what was the other ones coming to mind?
I mean, Star Wars.
Okay.
It's a boring answer, but it's just the norm. It's like that.
I guess if we're going Star Wars, that'd be over Inception.
How much that influenced, you know?
Yeah.
Inception's a great one, though. I'm glad you brought that up. I even think, not to have recency bias, because I really was worried at first that like our love for it was what that was. Like I was worried that it was just the latest thing that you're getting hyped about. Project Hail Mary is it's a very, very good sci-fi movie. You even talk about things like Gravity. What's the one with Tom Hanks? The Apollo 13 or something?
Yes.
There's a couple that are more like that are really good. There's a lot of underrated films. But I would say Interstellar and Star Wars in like 2001. Like you even get into like honestly, Planet of the Apes. Like there's some good stuff there.
War for the Planet of the Apes, dude.
Dawn might be my empire. Like that's
really?
Dawn is spectacular.
I think War was my favorite.
It's great because it's just very heavy, and it's not a happy ending. War?
Yeah,
and I love that they took that angle. I love that. Like,
somebody called me a sicko last week for saying I like unhappy endings, but
no, I think it's great. I mean, again, if it's executed right. I mean, I for the reasons I like The Last Jedi in certain areas, because they took swings that maybe didn't result in the happy ending. It's like, I understand that, as a Star Wars fan, it like goes against a lot of the Star Wars things that you're supposed to be rooting for. Like, I understand that it goes against that mold. I appreciated it for taking those swings. It's like, I like that things like Planet of the Apes, like it didn't end on a happy note, because it's really not a happy story. It's about humanity screwed itself.
Yeah.
And like they can't avoid the fate that they've constructed for themselves.
Right.
It's not supposed to be a happy ending.
Yeah.
But I'm with that take, dude. I think it's okay for things to not end happily. Not everything needs to.
Yeah.
Because not everything does.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So what's the next one?
All right. I'll do this one, and then we'll end the last one of these questions with the other one, because I think that requires the image, right?
Yeah. And I'll load that up on the screen for everybody. So if you're doing the audio only, make sure you drift over to YouTube for this next part.
If you could have an acting career, if you could have an acting career of one actor, what actor are you picking? You don't get their personal life, but you replace their performance and provide the same level of quality. Okay, here's my question. Does this mean you take on their filmography, or you're just them now?
I think so like you can, I guess you get to relive,
both?
You get to relive the film career of any living or
okay, I have an easy
actor
answer for me.
Without taking on the baggage of their personal life, good or bad.
I have an easy answer.
Okay.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Interesting.
Easy.
Interesting, dude.
He has just so many movies that are so different. Mm-hmm. I would easily take that.
Oh, and he's great. There's not many more respected either.
Yeah.
I would probably say Harrison Ford.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
I can't even imagine, and this doesn't occur to him in the same way that I have accomplishments in my life that aren't on my mind all the time. I can't imagine walking around with just like the innate knowledge that like you are Han Solo, you are Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
That's so weird that there's like a living person walking around on the earth, like breathing the same air that we do, that like played. Their identity is just, I'm the guy who played Han Solo in Indiana Jones. And I'm the only guy who ever like will be known primarily for those things. Mm-hmm. Wild, dude.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What a crazy thing.
If I had to give if we're not just going based on the film, dude, if I had to say like one for like somebody I could just be that person. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'd want to be anybody else other than Brad Pitt.
I thought about him because he's just a cool dude.
He's just awesome. He's the man.
He's cool in everything. Maybe I wish I had the guts of Tom Cruise. I definitely don't want the personal life, but I wish I had the guts of Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And the love for it. You see the love that he has for what he does, dude. Like,
but I also feel like his movies are not... They're fun for us because of what Tom does. I don't know if, like... You know what I'm trying to say?
He only has a couple that are, like, in the conversation.
Yeah, I just don't know if it'd be as fun to be him for every single movie as a whole career as some other people.
Maybe not, but I think there will never be somebody who has the career that he's had.
Yeah.
Like, there will be other people that, like, create iconic characters like Brad Pitt, like Leonardo DiCaprio. Like there will be another guy that performs in a movie that's as good as Seven. Mm-hmm. But there will never be another guy willing to do some of the things that Tom Cruise has done, for nothing. And it's crazy, dude. But I definitely wouldn't want the personal life. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's a great question, though. I'm
just taking it from who I'd want to be. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. One of the coolest moments in all of cinema history was when he finally won the Oscar, DiCaprio, for Revenant. Mm-hmm. It was so funny that it was for that movie. So deserved, for sure.
Yeah.
But I can think of like 5 movies where he would have been justified to win before, and he didn't.
Yeah.
It was such a moment of like satisfaction for the industry.
It's like finally, yeah.
Like it was so cool because that room is usually so pretentious. Mm-hmm. And again,
certain times people can't just you have to just be so happy and overwhelmed for
right.
Person.
Pretentious in the sense that oftentimes they're not there for anybody but themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure people in there have like relationships with one another, but it's not I'm here to collect what I feel I've been
right. Yes.
Yes. What I feel I'm owed, and it was so cool to just see everybody like stand for him. Mm-hmm. That was so cool. Mm-hmm. That was awesome. But yeah, maybe Harrison Ford, but I
like that.
DiCaprio's a great answer.
I like that.
That's a great answer.
All right, you got the thing ready?
Yeah, the last one is a unique one, and I'm going to put the image up. We basically have 5 different franchises here. And this was submitted by a listener. They said, if you could dictate how these 5 franchises will perform for the next 10 years, and you have to watch every single movie that comes out for each respective franchise, how would you match the 5 options with the 5 franchises? So we have an image here, and I'm going to pull this up for us, and we have to work off this thing.
Okay.
We have 5 franchises here. It's essentially, it's Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, DC, Marvel, and Pixar. Then options A through E.
Oh, this is cool.
So there's different variations of like numbers of movies, and he's separated by categories. Like he's got like a green category, blue category. I'm going to call that yellow. Then we got orange, and then red. And so the green category is number of movies. So it's 4 movies that are peak quality, like on par with. And the example that he gave is Infinity War. So you would have you have to match the franchises with I want this category of film. So like for example, we could say like I want over the next 10 years I want to give Marvel 4 peak movies on an Infinity War level. So we've got 4 peak Infinity War level movies. We've got the next category, the blue category. It's 6 dog water movies on the level of Rise of Skywalker. Then we've got 8 awesome movies on the level of Monsters Inc. Then we've got 10 mixed bag movies on the level of the Hobbit movies or Phase 4 Marvel. And then we've got 12 bad movies on the level of The Flash. So really terrible. So we've got to take all 5 of these and allocate them to specific franchises.
This is tough. This is cool though. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the bad first?
Yeah, I'd say let's work our way up. Let's get the bad out of the way. So let's get dog water and bad out of the way.
So this would imply this is the franchise that we're most satisfied with, and we're okay with just letting it be.
I'm okay with them getting dragged through the coals here. Yeah, I would.
I don't know if people are gonna hate this. Do you know where I'd go? Pixar.
No, I agree. I think we've already had our best days.
I've gotten the thing I need for Pixar.
Everything you need is already there.
Yeah.
And it's easy to return to.
Yeah.
And they've been putting out kind of mid-tier movies for the last 10 years, and it's, whatever. Mm-hmm. So would you give them...
I would give them the 12 bad.
Okay. Yeah. Here's my only thing.
What's your own
6
thing?
dog water projects on the level of Rise of Skywalker is like enough to completely destroy a franchise's hopes of any future. And I don't know if I want to do that to any of the other 4 though.
No, I'm with you actually. Yeah.
So maybe I would give the 6 dog water to Pixar.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay.
And just tank them and have it be like, remember the good old days when Pixar was a good thing.
Right.
Too
Yes,
bad
we
they
still
suck.
have that memory. It's not. They're separate too, so
Right.
it's not like a problem. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And can
I'm
I
with
actually? I don't know where you're at with this.
Uh-huh.
I would give the 12 bad Flash level movies to DC, and I would just keep them in the dumps
you. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
because I feel like, I feel like we're already so used to them being rough that it's okay.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You,
This is an uncomfortable conversation, but you're right.
the only other thing I'm thinking is just Star Wars,
No.
because but
Here's the thing. Here's the tough one.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is the one I care the least about, probably, for me,
yes,
as a connection.
I understand.
However, I understand it's probably the most costly one for it to take on anything bad.
Like there would
You know what I mean?
there would be wars and rumors of wars across the world if
Yes.
you messed with Lord of the Rings.
Yes. So this is the one that's going to be the toughest. I would give Lord of the Rings the mixed. Me personally.
Sure. No, I
So
think
it's
that's
just-
fine.
it's okay.
No, I think that's fine. I think that's okay because the example he gave was perfect because the example he gave was the Hobbit movies. So it's like
Okay, we just give
have,
more of those.
You just have 10 more Hobbit level movies.
Okay.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I'll be honest. I mean, they're not Lord of the Rings level. The Hobbit movies are very underrated for me. I mean, it's a great trilogy. All right, so that leaves we have the 8 awesome movies and the 4 peak movies.
I would go 8 awesome to Star Wars.
Okay.
And I'd go 4 peak for Marvel.
Awesome.
Because I think they need it more right now.
Yeah, that's a great take.
Peak. And I think Star Wars, again, I'm okay with Star Wars just being awesome.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, eight Monsters Inc. level movies for Star Wars. That put it right
bangs.
back where it needs
Right.
to be. And I'll say, Star Wars, with the exception of a few of the movies, you have 3 or 4 masterpieces, and then it really falls off a cliff.
Yeah.
And we love them because we grew up with them. Mm-hmm. But if you were to walk in now, I would understand anybody
not
walking
shocking.
into that franchise and being like, "This sucks. What are you guys talking about?" I get it.
Yeah.
So honestly, Star Wars has never, with the exception of a couple, been at that peak level for long.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with that. And then giving
Okay.
the 4 peak to Marvel.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Because they need it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I like
Yeah.
it. I'm happy.
That's sweet. Yeah. So
I'm
again,
happy.
hopefully you guys were watching that because if you're just listening, that doesn't really make much sense. But yeah.
I think it's okay. We did
I
an
think
okay
it's good.
job
Yeah.
summarizing it.
All right. But yeah, that was sweet. Thank you guys for sending those. That's
Yeah,
great.
which we still have more from you guys.
But the
So
listener
if you
stuff goes on.
If you hadn't heard your stuff yet, it's probably because it's in Bernard or Beckett.
Yeah, dude.
All right, so we're gonna move in quickly.
All right.
So Bernard or Beckett
Dust
style.
the cards off here.
Prince of Egypt is the best animated movie of all time.
Oh, buddy. Best? Now, is this objective or is this how I feel?
Both. 3, 2, 1. Wow. Okay. It's close.
Yeah.
It's close. It's close. This is not like a hateful Burnett. This is a I don't think it's there, but it's right there, but I don't think it's it. Considering when it came out too, like you got to think about that. It's great.
I could be very swayed off of it, but I really think if it's not the best, it's up there.
My only gripe with it is I feel like they rush all the plagues and stuff. They rush it really quick.
It's just a song.
Yes. I wish there was a little more of a burn with it. Literally, I guess, but
it feels like so often like spiritual elements like associated with with God are kind of butchered in film because you have things like it's so tricky. I mean, recently there was the animated David movie. And I guess there were some people kind of complaining about it because it was like you told the story of David in the Old Testament, but it's like on the flip side, it's like, it kind of more just focused on David. And so people were complaining because it didn't focus on God. So then it's like you have the issue of like people say like, oh, even though God was there, you didn't really focus on him, so I'm upset. Or you have people like the people who made God's Not Dead coming in and it's like, the hero of the story is the Christian, and then like the atheist one who is complaining about God. It's like God sends a car to like hit the guy, and the guy gets hit by a car and dies.
Right, which is like just so.
The only person that like is the atheist in the movie is the one who gets hit by a car and dies. So it's like you kind of have like forever. There's been like this like kind of people miss the mark when they're interpreting God, and I feel like the Prince of Egypt has this like reverence for God and like holds him at a distance to where it's like there's a very clear separation between the characters and like the spiritual that's like very powerful. And I always loved the technical stuff about how like when they were making the voice of God in the movie, they took all of the ensemble and they mixed their voices together. So it's like God was this like spiritual, you couldn't associate him with a specific person. It was like his voice was a mix of everything. And so it was like you couldn't pinpoint it made its own unique sound, and I just think like how creative is that to make God
that is
like
cool.
Something
that's
that
really cool.
You couldn't put on the back of a man. Like you just had to associate him as his own unique thing. I think that's so creative. And you even come down to like the animation of like the Red Sea and the parting of the Red Sea. There's so much that went into that. And even just DreamWorks as a company being historically people that got fired from Disney and like creating something that poignant. These are people that were kind of like the scraps from Disney and Pixar that came together to create this thing. It's very, very powerful. It's a great movie. If it's not the best, it's up there. Even
I agree. It's up there for sure.
If you go on Letterboxd, there's people that are like, I'm an atheist, and this movie's phenomenal. And that's just kind of the power of cinema. That's the power of like faith-based storytelling when done right. It's like, how can we tell a story that is powerful enough that like anyone from any religion or walk of life can't deny the solid, the rock solid power behind the story. That's when you've got it.
Yeah.
So I've always held it in high esteem. But yeah,
me too for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what do we got next? You good to move on?
Yeah.
All right. Avengers: Age of Ultron is the most underrated MCU movie. It foreshadows Infinity War, Civil War, Black Panther, and WandaVision, which has allowed this to age like fine wine for a rewatch. The most underrated MCU movie, though. This is a layered answer. Layered answer. Very layered. But there is an answer.
Gosh, dude, I'm trying to think what else is in that conversation right now. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1.
I'll back it.
I'm backing it too. Yeah.
I'll back it 100%. I think because of the scale of it. I mean, but I think there are underrated things. Talk about Captain America 1. Talk about even like Ant-Man 1. Like there's some underrated stuff out there that people don't give.
The thing I think of why it means it's the most underrated for this, though, is because those other movies still get love. Almost nobody ever brings up Age of Ultron.
No.
Ever. Unless it's kind of just say, get it out of here.
And if you loved...
And it really is. It has a lot of good stuff in it.
If you were to name about 5 or 6 of your top MCU movies, I'd say at least 2/3 of them couldn't happen without Age of Ultron.
Right, yes. And also the thing is, too, is Age of Ultron, I know it sounds whatever to say. Anytime you get the core Avengers in a film together to do stuff, and it's the only time we get to see all of them together, not assembling, not doing this or that, it's just them doing a story together. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah,
it's the only time we really get to see it.
Yeah. Totally agree. So I'd be in on this.
Yeah,
I'd be in
I'd
on
back
this.
it.
Also, I'm a big Ant-Man truther. Yeah. For anyone who can't remember how good Ant-Man 1 is, you got to go back and watch that.
Really?
It's a fun movie, dude.
I'm kind of mad on it.
Really?
A little bit.
When was the last time you saw it?
A while ago.
You got to go back and rewatch it.
Probably 5 years ago, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you got to rewatch it without the baggage of Quantumania.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to go back and watch that.
All right.
I hate Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I hate Quantumania, but I love Ant-Man 1.
All right.
That's a really fun
really
movie.
good?
Yeah, because it can survive on its own.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do we got next?
We'll see.
We'll see.
Right. I love doing that. Project Hail Mary is going to be the sneaky best movie of 2026.
All right. 3,
2, 1. I back it.
I'll back that 100%.
I'm in on that.
Yeah, I think there will be maybe some better movies, but I think I can't respect Project Hail Mary enough for having like its own unique story to tell.
The word sneaky is what wins it for me.
Yeah.
The sneaky best is a perfect way to say that. That's exactly what it is.
I can see you referring to it as such.
Yes, exactly. Yes. It's like, is it? I don't know, but it's the sneaky best. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm with that.
It will be in the conversation.
I'd be shocked at this point if it's not top 3.
I want Ryan Gosling to get nominated for an Academy Award so bad for that movie.
I would love that. I would love that.
So good.
Could be peak. You got next?
Yep. Homecoming is better than No Way Home as a film. No Way Home has great scenes, but it definitely feels like they created the story around their final act rather than the other way around. 3, 2, 1. Come on.
And I know exactly who submitted this to.
Come on.
Brian cannot hide.
Come on, dude. You can't. You like the people who are like No Way Home is just good because of its fan service. It's like, yeah, but you're underselling how good the fan service is. Mm-hmm. You're totally underselling how good that movie is, and it's totally fine that it's just because of its fan service. Mm-hmm. Like, you're acting like that's a bad thing. Like, let's not act like just because movies have bad fan service doesn't mean that when it's done right, it's not like the best thing a movie could offer.
Yes.
Homecoming.
I would argue, though, them saying it's designed around the ending. It's kind of like, again, we talked about it earlier, shows and stuff. It's like they have this story, but they don't know how to wrap it up. Don't you usually want to have a good ending in mind to get you there? Yeah. I understand what you're trying to say with it, but like,
I mean, how bad? Like, wouldn't that have been that would have been a whole other complaint if you had said it's a good movie, but I feel like they only designed it to get Andrew and Toby in, and then they just had no idea what to do with them.
But the reason why it feels different to me is because there's more than just that going on.
Yeah.
The reasons they're there is not just to be there. There's other things that they do for Tom's character.
It's also the best Peter story.
But also, like, the movie doesn't end and it's like, oh, hey, saw them. Cool, next movie. Like, it ends and everything flips in Tom's world. Like, there's so much more going on than just that.
Aunt May's gone.
Like, the movie is not just, hey, let's just see that. There's a whole other thing going.
Right.
So
I totally agree.
I'm burning it.
I'm with it. I'm with that, dude.
I do think Homecoming sometimes gets slept on a little bit.
100%.
As far as fun. Just as a movie.
I would agree.
I understand if people have gripe with a Spider-Man idea, but it's a fun movie.
It's one of the most rewatchable MCU films. Mm-hmm. But it's not better than No Way Home.
No.
It's not.
It's just not.
I think that's okay to say. It's okay. Hold my hand and say it with me.
Yep. Okay. The Star Wars prequel trilogy is a better watch than the original trilogy.
I can really respect that this take was articulated. I can respect that this is a take somebody brought up.
3, 2, 1.
I'd still burn.
I have to burn it.
I would absolutely burn. But, I mean, I appreciate it.
I do. I respect it.
Can you say the thing you said about the lore of the prequels? Because I agree with this take.
The lore behind the prequels, I think, is much more interesting, involving everything with Palpatine,
so much
Order
better.
66, the Clone Army, Sifo Dyas, all of that is so much more interesting. But as just a movie goes, the 3 in a row, I mean, I always say it's the best trilogy of all time. It is the most complete trilogy, I think, in terms of just boom to boom to boom. We're going to tell you one cohesive story about this little section. Like, even Lord of the Rings expands so much. It is a complete story, and it's great. Same idea. But it expands so much of a universe, and Star Wars does the same thing, too. But it has, like, a way of making it expanded, but also contained right into this chunk.
I agree. That's a great take. Because my one argument would be, well, what about Lord of the Rings? But you're right. There's some characters that pop up throughout that trilogy where you're like, oh, I forgot about him.
Yes.
And, you feel like everything's all in this. All your ducks are in a row with the OT. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I love that you have that take. And you've had that you've been saying that for a couple weeks now, just with all the Star Wars talk with Maul and everything. Like, I agree. The prequel lore is definitely the most interesting and engaging aspect of Star Wars. And definitely, I think, what got me into the saga as a kid.
Yeah, me too. Especially playing the game, like the Star Wars saga.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But
I always played the prequel stuff more than the originals.
Yeah, I agree. I did too. But story, narratively, I mean, it doesn't get much better than the OT, and the prequels are very shaky until Revenge. Like narratively very shaky. Not lore-wise, always dense, but shaky until Revenge.
Yeah.
All right, last but certainly not least, probably my favorite burner back into the whole bunch.
Okay.
The pod you're looking for will attend an event by the end of year 2. 3, 2, 1.
I'm backing it.
I'm backing that all the way, baby. Come on.
I'm going to kiss whoever said that.
You got to fake it till you make it. You got to fake it till you make it. I believe.
You got to believe.
It'll be something.
You got to believe.
We'll do something. We'll figure something out.
Something. We'll figure
something
out. I would like to say this. We'll be on a plane for something related to the pod for this year.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah. We talked about, I said it jokingly, but then the more I actually thought about it, the more I was like, oh, hold on now, this might be an idea. Around the time Spider-Man comes out, there's going to be a lot of people in full Spider-Man garb. And I was saying to you, if there's a creator event that we don't get invited to, but everyone's wearing Spider-Man stuff, we should just put the Spider-Man outfits and invite ourselves.
That's a great idea. Does that count for the Bernard or Backett?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. We have to attend. That's what we'll say. We attended one.
Yeah, we were present.
Yeah.
We
invited? Nah.
Yeah, we
attended.
Feet were on the premises.
Yes.
I'm into it. But that was Bernard or Backett.
Bernard or Backett.
And that's the anniversary special.
Yeah.
We made it, dude.
Yeah.
We made it. We're all done. No.
We're all done.
We're just getting
home.
The show's over. But yeah, dude, I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I feel like we covered just about everything we possibly could.
I think so.
I feel pretty good. That was a good wrap up.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything you want to say, people?
Do you have anything about just a final farewell? Yeah, go for it.
I do.
While I try and think about how I want to not talk for 20 minutes.
Yeah, dude. I'm not a mushy guy, but it does mean the world to me to be able to have people actively listening and engaging with us in any way. Seriously, this is probably the coolest thing I've ever done in my life, and probably one of the coolest things I'll ever get to do in my life, at least with things like this. And I'm just loving every second of it. I'm never going to take any moment for granted, and I'm just excited to see where we go. But really, thank you for everyone that's been with us whenever you joined us. Seriously, it means the world to us.
More than anything, I'm learning that, and again, it probably seems like we have no platform to stand on when we're talking about success, because we really haven't seen a ton of it comparative to other people. But compared to how successful we thought we would be.
Yes.
I would say that any success that for all of the success that we have found since we started a year ago, I've found that the most important thing consistently has just been the relationships that you have or make along the way. Mm-hmm. And regardless of how many views or likes or followers, the most important thing to me has always been that I get to do it with you, that the people in our circles are so immensely supportive of it, that there are people like the people in our Discord, the people on the social media pages, the people that comment, who are so continuously supportive and engaging, and all the creators who are so warm to extend a hand to us. Mm-hmm. We don't deserve any of it, but I definitely think, to pat us on the back for a second, I think that after a year, we've earned our right to be here. Mm-hmm. And I'm so happy for everything that's happened. I'm so thankful for it. We've just been putting a lot of work into it, and the most important thing, despite the work and the clips and the hours planning things and the this and the that and the hopes to go to an event and trying to go to a movie on a Thursday night so you can be one of the first podcasts to talk about it on a Monday morning. Despite all of that, the most important thing has never not been you and our people that are supporting, and you, the listener. And so I'm just so incredibly grateful for the people that make this possible. Financially, it's entirely us, but emotionally, we're probably the least significant when it comes to this. We're sitting here doing this every week because we feel so much love and support from people around us. Right. And so if you're somebody who just found us this week, if you're somebody who's been around for a month or 2 months or 6 or 12, we're so thankful for you. And we're so grateful to be doing this, and it will always be for the people that make it possible. I'm just so grateful for. Yeah, and
I'd like to add on to that too. Dude, this is for, again, peeling behind the curtain. Some people have heard this. This podcast does not happen without the incredible amount of sacrifice that you put into this. You do all the editing, literally everything editing wise. You're always planning stuff. You do so much. You have to do so much work for this. That is not time that you just have. It's time that is on top of every other thing that you do. And again, knowing a lot of people in my life, I don't know many other people in my life that have the work dedication you do with the stuff you do. But the amount of things that you have the dedication for that you do. I could rattle off 6 things right now that you're actively a member in, which is just crazy. I'm how in the world did you fit time? Dude, we will record an emergency podcast. I'll wake up at 7 a.m. and you have it out. It's insane. We'll record it literally at 11 p.m. and it's out at 7.
Yeah.
And you're already at work. You know, it's just nuts. I don't know how you keep up doing the thing you're doing. Love doing this with you. So thank you for doing this the whole past year, man.
I love you, dude. This is a
little clink.
Yeah. Hey. Little Pop Funko clink. There you go. This is definitely my favorite thing. Mm-hmm. And you're the best guy I could possibly do it with. So I'm very, very happy to have what we have. So it's very cool. But here's to year 2. I have a feeling it's going to be even better than the last. So there you go.
But as always, opportunities don't happen. You create them.